Chapter 739. In the Great Hall, Feng Miexing and Zhao Xingwu confirmed the appointment of the commander of the Left Division. Very soon, Feng Miexing smiled and said, "I heard that General Zhao is from the clear void heaven and has a distinguished status. It's only natural for you to lead the land of Rebirth's sect world. It's a shame that the Star Polaris lineage has occupied Marshal Zhao's ancestral court." Zhao Xingwu frowned. Outside the door, Feng Ping's gaze flickered. Feng Miexing didn't seem to care about this. He smiled and said, "Uncle No God, Qingshu Heaven hasn't been destroyed yet, right?" Lu Wuxian smiled faintly and said, "No, Qingshu Heaven is the #1 grotto heaven. It is incomparably powerful. How can it be destroyed so easily? However, Qingshu Heaven has been occupied by Heavenly King Jin for many years. Back then, Nether King also obtained a lot of benefits from Qingshu Heaven and achieved godhood. After that, he had the opportunity to step into the true monarch realm." At the side, Jingzhu also smiled and said, "Originally, these fortuitous encounters belonged to Commander Zhao. If Zhao Shuai had obtained these fortuitous encounters, he would have stepped into the true king realm long ago. Why would he be forced by King Wu and the others? The Heavenly King, suppressing Heavenly King, was able to achieve the second Great Tao because of the clear void heaven. It's a pity that a direct descendant like Marshal Zhao ended up like this. How disappointing." Several people spoke one after another. Zhao Xingwu coldly said, "This old man is from Wangwu faction." "Marshal Zhao, why are you so angry? It's just a casual chat." Lu Wuxian smiled. "General Zhao knows Wangwu sect's origins better than we do. In the past, Wangwu sect was the biggest sect in the land of Rebirth, the first grotto heaven. In the era of sects in the land of Rebirth, Wangwu sect was the leader. But back then, the sect was in turmoil, and some people were determined to cause chaos, which eventually led to the decline of the sect." Zhao Xingwu's face darkened as he said coldly, "I don't understand what Palace Master Lu is saying." Lu Wuxian smiled faintly. "Seems like General Zhao doesn't know much. He's indeed rejected in the land of Rebirth." After saying that, Lu Wuxian smiled and said, "There are some things that General Zhao doesn't know, but we still have some understanding. Commander Zhao, do you know where the King's Arena is?" "I've heard a little." Marshal Zhao said, "I've heard a little about it, but I'm afraid I really don't know much about it." Lu Wuxian smiled and said, "Does General Zhao know when the King's battlefield was formed?" "I do not know. Around 2000. Lu Wuxian smiled and said, "It is also the place where you came back to life, the time when the era of sex declined." Lu Wuxian wore a smile on his face. Extremely playful, he began to explain, "The land of Rebirth's division of the various eras is very confusing. Basically, it's just a saying. In fact, there were some records of this in God Continent. In the land of Rebirth, there was another term for the era of sex, the era of the 100 schools of thought. At that time, the land of Rebirth produced many talents. Some powerhouses from the apatheicized era were no longer willing to be ordered around by others. They began to create their own sects and establish their own sections. Thus, the era of sex came into being. It was about 2,500 years ago. 2,500 years ago was the beginning of the era of sections. It was also a glorious period. During this period of time, the experts of the sects attacked the God Continent and built a world domain. They swept through the heavens and were incomparably powerful. Everywhere they went, there was no one who didn't submit. However, the glory of the era of sex did not last for long. In less than 400 years, the era of sex had fallen. It was probably around— Lu Wuxian thought about it before smiling. It was probably around the so-called era of the 100 schools of thought that was the time when the era of sex fell into a period of silence. In other words, it was then that the War of the Kings broke out, forming the land of the kings. Zhao Xingwu's expression did not change. He did not interrupt and continued to wait. According to the few words that were left after the War of the Land of the Kings, actually, Lu Wuxian's words were intermittent, deliberately keeping Zhao Xingwu in suspense. Zhao Xingwu's expression was cold. Lu Wuxian chuckled. Actually, it wasn't just the war between the God Continent and the land of Rebirth. There were also some wars within the land of rebirth. Back then, there were actually some who stood on the God continent side. As for who they were, there was no way of knowing. It could be someone from within the world of sections. In other words, some of the philosophers. It could also be someone who survived the apatheicized era. The era of sex replaced the apatheicized era. As for the philosophers, most of them actually came from the apatheicized era. However, during the apatheicized era, the powerhouses were enslaved by others. Some of them were indignant and started the era of sex in an attempt to break free from such control. However, in the eyes of some powerhouses, such a thing was disgraceful. Hence, the decline of the era of sex and the War of the Kings. You guys have always hated the God continent. Some even thought that the God continent was the one who destroyed the Land of Realms. However, is that really the case? Lu Wuxian laughed wantonly and said playfully, "The Land of Realms is incomparably powerful. How could it be easily invaded? Back then, some things were very interesting." Haha. Lu Wuxian's laughter was extremely loud. He said mockingly, "General Zhao, sometimes powerful enemies crumble on their own. Back then, during the War of the Kings, there were many inside stories. This included some Land of Realms being invaded and destroyed. To put it bluntly, the God continent back then might not have had such strength. On the contrary, it was much easier for the Land of Realms to be invaded from the inside. Otherwise, during the War of the Kings, all the kings in the God continent would have been annihilated. How would they have the strength to attack the Land of Realms and even break through it? General Zhao should have heard that the Land of Realms is incomparably dangerous. You should know that this is even now. Back then, the defense of the Land of Realms was even stronger. Without the attacks of many true kings, how could the Land of Realms be destroyed? Zhao Xingwu's expression changed slightly. He said calmly, "You're saying that there were traitors back then?" "Traitors?" Lu Wuxian laughed. "Not really. Everyone has their own needs. Back then, the Land of Rebirth was powerful. Perhaps the God continent wasn't in their eyes. Even the two kings were merely chess pieces in their eyes. Since that's the case, rather than saying that the War of the Kings was a war of the God continent, it would be better to say that it was a war of your own." Zhao Xingwu sneered. "So, in your eyes, the two kings are merely SOSO?" Lu Wuxian's expression turned cold. He quickly laughed. "The two kings are naturally incomparably powerful. However, no matter how powerful they are, they weren't strong enough to destroy the Land of Realms. General Zhao should understand what I mean." As he spoke, Lu Wuxian suddenly realized that this wasn't his purpose. He regained his smile. "General Zhao, don't misunderstand. I'm saying all this just to say that the Land of Rebirth has always felt that the God continent is invading the Land of Rebirth. However, that isn't the case. Of course, this is all in the past. It's just a casual conversation now. What I want to say is that the Qing Su heaven still exists and hasn't been completely destroyed. As the successor of the Emotion Sky, General Zhao has the right to go to the Qing Su heaven. Although General Zhao isn't too far away from the True King stage, how long will it take? If he's lucky, he can enter the True King stage today. If he's unlucky, he might stay at the peak of God path for the rest of his life and never be able to enter the True King stage. However, once he goes to the Qing Su heaven, General Zhao might advance to the True King stage there. Beside him, Feng Mieshing sighed. With General Zhao's strength, the Land of Rebirth should have let General Zhao try a long time ago. In the end, General Zhao doesn't seem to know anything. The Land of Rebirth says that the God continent is selfish. What a joke. Feng Miesheng laughed mockingly. A powerhouse like General Zhao is just one step away from becoming a true king. However, Heavenly King Garrison and the rest are occupying the Land of Realms, refusing to let General Zhao enter. They didn't even inform him. As the first Grotto Heaven, even if it was destroyed back then, the remnant light left behind would be enough for General Zhao to enter the True King stage. Heavenly King Garrison allowed his descendant to enter and let the Netherworld King become a true king. Is his selfishness better than the kings of the God continent? Outside the hall, Fong Ping's heart was in turmoil. For a moment, he was in a daze. The decline and destruction of the sect era was due to internal strife. In the War of the King battlefield, there were humans who stood on the side of the two kings. Heavenly King Garrison occupied the Land of Realms and did not allow others to enter, and occupied the Qing Su Heaven. According to the legend, Wan Wu's sect was indeed related to the Qing Su Heaven. In that case, Zhao Xingwu might be able to enter the Qing Su Heaven. If the catacombs knew, how could humans not know? Then why did they not let Zhao Xingwu enter? With Zhao Xingwu's strength, if there were some good things in the Qing Su Heaven, or some enlightenment of the origin Tao, or some absolute arts, Zhao Xingwu might really be able to reach the apex. For a moment, Fong Ping's heart was filled with mixed feelings. Very quickly, he calmed down. Everything was just a one-sided statement from the catacombs. They were only trying to sway Zhao Xingwu. However, even he had some thoughts. What about Zhao Xingwu? A powerhouse who was about to reach the apex, but one step away was a world of difference. Zhao Xingwu might not be able to step into the apex. Would he be indignant? Would he be resentful and indignant? Would he hate the Heavenly King Garrison and Li Jun, the apex who might have snatched his opportunity? Putting himself in Zhao Xingwu's shoes. Would he hate him? Fong Ping felt a headache coming on. Was Zhao Xingwu arranged by old Zhang? If this went on, could Zhao Xingwu still hold on to his conscience? Fong Ping felt that he was going to be brainwashed soon. In the basilica, Zhao Xingwu's expression returned to calmness. He said slowly, "What's the purpose of telling me all this? Just tell me straight." Feng Miexing laughed. "Zhao Shuai, you know that it's hard to enter the bounded zone. Similarly, true kings can't enter either. Both parties are restraining each other. However, Zhao Shuai has no restrictions. With Zhao Shuai's strength, who can stop him if he goes to the bounded zone? When Zhao Shuai wants to enter, Feng Miexing can ask the king ancestor to appear and restrain the true king of the land of resurrection. Even the Heavenly King Garrison is not invincible. I think the true King Hall also hopes that Zhao Shuai can become a true king. Aren't you afraid that I'll achieve the apex and return to the humans?" Feng Miexing was all smiles. Lu Wuxian, on the other hand, was calm and composed. He said slowly, "If Zhao Shuai really becomes a true king in the Qing Su Heaven, he'll snatch the Heavenly King Garrison's possession. Given the Heavenly King Garrison's personality, how do you think he'll treat Zhao Shuai then?" Feng Miexing also laughed. The Heavenly King Garrison has always been planning to step into the third Great Tao. The bounded zone is his first choice, and it's also the place he's been planning to enter. If Zhao Shuai gains something in the Qing Su Heaven, it might be what the Heavenly King Garrison wants. When that time comes, the Heavenly King Garrison, who has been planning for so many years, might not have any good intentions toward Zhao Shuai. Zhao Xingwu didn't say anything. Feng Miexing laughed again. Of course, there's no hurry. Zhao Shuai might be able to quickly step into the true king realm himself, and there's no need to go to the bounded zone. Lu Wuxian raised his wine cup and laughed. Actually, I still suggest that even if Zhao Shuai can become a true king, he shouldn't do it so quickly. Once he becomes a true king, he won't be able to enter the bounded zone. On the contrary, when Zhao Shuai is confident, he can go to the bounded zone. He might be able to walk 2 great daos in a day and become a true king. That would be a great gain. When that time comes, even the Heavenly King Garrison won't be able to do anything to Zhao Shuai. The few of them chimed in one after another, but some of the things they said were exciting. Become a true king of 2 great daos. However, if he entered the bounded zone, he might be able to snatch away what the Heavenly King Garrison had been planning. Was it worth it to fall out with the Heavenly King Garrison? Once Zhao Xingwu really became a powerhouse of 2 great daos, would he be an enemy or an ally of the Heavenly King Garrison? Outside the hall, Fong Ping suddenly understood. Feng Miexing and the others did not care about Zhao Xingwu's identity at all. Whether he was from an evil sect, a spy, or some other identity, it did not matter. Everything they said was an overt plot. Zhao Xingwu, do you want to go to the bounded zone? If you go, it was very likely that what the catacombs said was true. The Heavenly King Garrison was indeed planning something, and this plan would be destroyed by Zhao Xingwu. The Heavenly King Garrison might have spent many years laying out and planning. There might even be a chance for him to walk 3 great Daos. Was a powerhouse with 3 great Daos more terrifying, or 2 powerhouses with 2 great Daos? This point might also be measured in the catacombs. Even if Zhao Xingwu achieved 2 great Daos, even if he did not fall out with the Heavenly King Garrison, it would not matter. The Heavenly King Garrison's plan might fall through. The strength of 2 people might not be comparable to a powerhouse who had stepped into 3 great Daos. At least there were still opponents in 2 great Daos. Life Monarch, Monster Planet's Royal Court True King Hall Master. These people were probably also 2 great Daos powerhouses. It was better to have 1 more powerhouse of the same rank than 1 more high-level powerhouse. What is the Heavenly King Garrison planning? Is there really a plot? Did Feng Miexing and the others do this under King Feng's instructions? Where is the Qingshu sky? The Zhongzhou catacombs? Or some other place? Questions arose in Feng Ping's mind. It was very likely that Zhao Xingwu would go to the Qingshu sky. Feng Ping felt that the possibility of this was very high. In the hall, Feng Miexing and the others talked for a while and did not continue this topic. Jing Zhu noticed that Zhao Xingwu had stopped talking. He smiled and said, "Marshal Zhao, we have not been to the land of rebirth. It's a rare gathering today. Why don't you tell us about the situation in the land of rebirth so that we can broaden our horizons?" Jing Zhu quickly added, "Marshal Zhao, don't think that I'm just asking for information. We actually know some things about the land of rebirth. It's just that we haven't had much interaction with the martial artists there. It's just that we're interested." Zhao Xingwu said lightly, "There's nothing much to say. You know what you need to know. What you don't know is a small matter." A dark look flashed in Jing Zhu's eyes. He quickly smiled and said, "Since Marshal Zhao is unwilling to say more, Your Highness, I heard that many martial artists from other territories have come to your side. Let them talk." Marshal Zhao has been in Divine Land for almost a month. Perhaps there are some changes in the land of rebirth. Feng Miexing heard that and laughed. "Kuei Ming, you guys come in?" Feng Ping and the others hurried into the hall, bowing and greeting. Feng Miexing let them stand, but did not let them sit down. The middle-ranked martial artists were not qualified to sit. "Kuei Ming, is there anything different about the 7 southern territories recently?" Feng Miexing asked. Feng Ping cursed in his heart. "It's not like you didn't go. Why are you asking me on purpose?" Feng Ping still answered quickly, "There's nothing different. However, the number of MCMEU martial artists has increased recently. They often invade Royal City." Feng Miexing nodded slightly. He suddenly looked at the person beside Feng Ping and smiled. "Tung Yu, how's the situation in the 5 southern territories?" "Reporting to Your Highness, ever since Marshal Zhao left the 5 southern territories, the number of martial artists from the sects has increased. Wars have broken out frequently. When Marshal Zhao was guarding, there weren't many wars. Now, however, there are constant killings. The martial artists from the sects have turned out in full force. They are extraordinarily brave. Many have died in battle." Zhao Xingwu's body moved slightly, but he did not say anything. Feng Miexing smiled. "Have you seen the people from Wanwu sect?" "Reporting to Your Highness, I have. Moreover, Wanwu sect is now under orders to guard the main roads between the 2 cities. When war breaks out, Wanwu sect will be our frontline martial artists." Sigh. Feng Miexing sighed. Zhao Xingwu said coldly, "Martial artists should fight. There's nothing wrong with that." Feng Miexing shook his head. "Miexing doesn't mean to sow discord. I just want to say that when Marshal Zhao was around, he protected the sects, allowing the disciples to catch a breather and survive in the land of rebirth, so that the sects wouldn't perish. Now that Marshal Zhao has left, Marshal Zhao knows better than Miexing that with the personalities of King Wu and the rest, they will definitely squeeze out every last bit of value from the sections. King Wu and the Netherworld Lord are both staunch supporters of the new martial arts era. Now that the sects don't have the protection of someone like Marshal Zhao, I'm afraid they will really be eliminated." Zhao Xingwu's gaze was cold, and he fell silent again. "Marshal Zhao can't go to the outskirts now. If he does, King Wu and the rest won't let him go. Even if they don't do it themselves, with Marshal Zhao's strength, it's not like he's invincible in the land of rebirth. Therefore, if Marshal Zhao wants the sects to survive, I'm afraid he has to become a true king as soon as possible. Only by becoming a true king as soon as possible and occupying a place in the royal court can Marshal Zhao have enough influence and strength to change everything. Lu Wushan faintly smiled. General Zhao can even order the cities of the 5 southern regions to give up on the war. This way, the sects can preserve their strength. However, it would be extremely difficult for Zhao Shuai to become a true king. Of course, if I become the left marshal, there will be experts under Marshal Zhao's command. Perhaps I can let the Tianji army enter the 5 southern regions and even receive some people into the imperial court. It's not impossible. Fang Ping finally understood. These guys' main target today was Zhao Xingwu. On one hand, he wanted Zhao Xingwu to become the left marshal. On the other hand, he wanted Zhao Xingwu to become a true king as soon as possible. If he wanted to become a true king as soon as possible, he would have to go to the domain zone, to the clear void heaven. Fang Ping glanced at them from the corner of his eyes. These fellows must have received orders from King Maple. Otherwise, they would not be so united. They are also using Zhao Xingwu, and even want Zhao Xingwu to do something they can't do, thus destroying some people's plans. The information these guys gave is definitely not complete, and some important parts are hidden. Fang Ping could see it. Naturally, Zhao Xingwu knew it too. Zhao Xingwu did not say anything. This was an overt plot. In fact, it was also a test. Didn't you want to protect the sects? Now that the sect martial artists are in deep trouble, on the verge of death, are you, Zhao Xingwu, just going to watch? Aren't you indignant that King Wu and the others have treated you unfairly? Now, Godland will give you a chance. I'll help you hold back King Zhen and the others, so that you can obtain the resources you deserve, and help you step into the true king realm. Would a powerhouse who wanted to protect the sects, to become stronger, give up such an opportunity? Of course not. If Zhao Xingwu gave up, it meant that he had a serious problem. In order to become stronger, Zhao Xingwu did not hesitate to expose his identity, kill Fang Ping, offend everyone, become a traitor of humanity, and escape into the Forbidden Zone. Would someone like him give up the opportunity to become a true king? That was inconsistent with his previous determination. Zhao Xingwu was silent for a while. After a long time, he said, "Where is Qingshu Sky?" Feng Yexing was all smiles. Qingshu Sky is not in the 5 southern regions, but in the 1st southern region, which is the region where King Zhen is suppressed. If I go, who will hold back King Zhen? This will have to wait for the Hall of True King's decision. Zhao Xingwu said coldly, "I'm afraid that I'll die before I even enter the bounded domain." Lu Wushan laughed. "Marshal Zhao, you're worrying too much. If you really go, you'll definitely be safe. Otherwise, the royal court wouldn't send you to your death." Zhao Xingwu was silent for a while, then suddenly said, "There's still something that I don't understand. This matter has never been resolved. Since you know so much, this old man will ask you one more question. That day, when Fang Ping was killed on Earth, Zayli Karo killed Varna, and that turned the entire situation around. Is Zayli Karo really a spy of the Hall of Gods? Not only did Zayli Karo's betrayal exceed my expectations, even the Pope didn't expect it." When he said this, Feng Yexing's eyes turned cold. He gritted his teeth and said, "Zayli Karo, I know. This person is definitely not a spy of the Hall of Gods. Zayli Karo, Uncle Wushan, you should know him." Lu Wushan said in a low voice, "I know him. Zayli Karo came to the Forbidden Zone, to the royal court. This was something I knew back then. Back then, Zayli Karo was seriously injured and on the verge of death. He was sent to the royal court to get some information, but he disappeared in the end. I thought he was dead back then. I didn't expect him to still be alive and in the land of rebirth." Feng Yexing's face was livid. He humphed coldly. Since Li Yi deliberately let Longevity Sword and the others go in the 7 southern regions, it means that someone doesn't want Fang Ping to die. "Old thing, Do you really think I don't know anything? Don't want to kill Fong Ping. How hateful. Do you really think Fong Ping can do anything to me? Fong Ping is not the Feng Mansion's nightmare. He's our motivation. Zhao Xingwu frowned. You're saying that Zali Caro is the Lord's man? Feng Miexing sneered. Most likely. As he said that, he looked at Fong Ping and the rest and shouted, Remember, don't spread it. Fong Ping and the rest hurriedly agreed. This was not a big deal. Moreover, it was about the land of rebirth. He asked Fong Ping and the rest not to spread it. He was talking about the Lord. Feng Miexing had the guts to scold the other party directly. Zhao Xingwu took a deep breath. I'll ask one last time. Who is the hierarch? As soon as he said that, everyone looked at each other. After a long while, Lu Wuxian shook his head. I don't know. Fong Ping's heart was beating slightly. Zhao Xingwu was asking about this out of the blue. Why did he feel like he was asking on purpose? Did I expose myself? It can't be. Fong Ping was nervous, but he pretended to be calm. How could he expose himself? It must be Zhao Xingwu who wanted to ask about this. It had nothing to do with him, but he did know some secrets. There was something wrong with Zali Caro. He was the Lord's man, and he had come to the royal court before. You don't know? Zhao Xingwu frowned. You don't know either? Even the Maple King doesn't know? Feng Miexing smiled bitterly. Miexing really doesn't know. Even if the Lord Ancestor knew, he wouldn't tell us. If General Zhao really wants to know, you can only wait for the opportunity to ask the Lord Ancestor. Zhao Xingwu pondered for a while. After a long while, he stood up and said, I'll take my leave first. Oh, right. Will the Maple King come to the Imperial City during the Holy Fruit Feast? If he does, I'd like to meet him. Feng Miexing stood up too, smiling. I'm afraid there won't be a chance this time. The Holy Fruit is only effective for powerhouses who haven't entered the divine path. The true kings won't participate. However, there will be many God general rank powerhouses entering the city that day. They'll also be discussing the matter of the left marshal. Zhao Xingwu frowned. What about true King Tianyu? Can your highness introduce me to him? I have some questions that I'd like to ask. Feng Miexing looked troubled. Lu Wuxian rejected him directly. There's not much hope. Lord Tian, you will only appear for a while. He'll return to the Lake of Life very soon. Where's the Lake of Life? General Zhao, don't be rash. This is Lord Tianyu's territory. If you trespass and anger the Lord, I'm just asking. I'm not stupid. I know where true King Tianyu is, but I can avoid it. In the Imperial Court. Zhao Xingwu understood. He said as he walked, I've guessed it. True King Tianyu protects the Imperial Court, but he only protects the Imperial Court. I've discovered that the source of the 99 mines in the Imperial Court is in the Imperial Court. True King Tianyu is not only protecting the Imperial Court, but he's also suppressing the mines, right? General Zhao, this is... Lu Wuxian laughed. Marshal Zhao, don't be reckless. Even if you take the mine, you won't be able to take it away. Lord Tianyu's undying deity extends to every mine in the Imperial City. I don't care about the mine. I'm just considering if there are any secrets left in the Imperial Court. True King Tianyu's roots and undying God extend to the entire mine. Although they aren't released, I'll have to be careful in the future. I'll try not to enter the mines, lest I die without even knowing how I died. Zhao Xingwu said mockingly. I sensed that something was amiss. When I went to the mine to cultivate, someone seemed to be probing me. As expected, it was him. Lu Wuxian said in surprise, General Zhao, it looks like you're really not far from becoming a true king. Lord Tianyu does have the undying God mine, but it's extremely weak. It's hard for anyone who isn't a true king to sense it. I only noticed it after the true king informed me. Zhao Xingwu was about to walk out of the hall when he said, How can you hide it from me? The true king manor is better. I'd like to borrow the Feng Manor's mine next time I go into seclusion. Is that possible? Feng Miexing was overjoyed. He smiled and said, I'll be waiting for you, General Zhao. Zhao Xingwu turned to look at him and frowned. However, I hope that the true king's clone won't pry on me again. It's just an inanimate object without intelligence. It's not a real true king. You won't even have the chance to release it in front of me. Feng Miesheng's expression changed. He smiled. General Zhao, don't misunderstand. Humph. I'll shatter your psyche the next time you spy on me. Don't blame me for not warning you then. I understand. Zhao Xingwu said nothing more and left. After he left for a while, Lu Wuxian snorted softly. How impressive. Feng Miesheng chuckled. I'm almost at True King realm after all. Uncle Wuxian, you don't have to be angry. While they were talking, Feng Ping's face was as white as a sheet. F***CK. What was going on? Zhao Xingwu might be asking questions, but these questions were so incisive. So incisive that I feel like they're all directed at me. Don't go to the giant mines to steal ores. Even if you do, go to the True King Manor at most. The other giant mines have a True King's psyche attached to them. Also, Feng Miesheng brought the True King's clone with him. If he wanted to deal with the clone, he would have to destroy Feng Miesheng's psyche first, not giving him a chance to release the clone. If no one released it, the clone might not be able to do anything. I didn't get exposed, did I? Feng Ping was not too sure about it. Or was Zhao Xingwu just saying it casually? Suppressing the palpitation in his heart, Feng Ping comforted himself over and over again. He did not get exposed. Definitely not. In this world, even the paragons could not tell if his aura was real or fake. Unless they probed his body inch by inch, only then would they be able to sense it. Otherwise, he would be Kuei Ming. Chapter 740. The banquet ended quickly. Feng Ping had also gained quite a lot. Firstly, Zali Callow was the Lord's man. He had to tell old Zhang about this when he returned. Secondly, apart from the true monarch's residence, the rest of the mines have the true monarch's spiritual energy attached to them. Don't even think about mining. That would be courting death. Thirdly, Zhao Xingwu might be going to the clear void heaven. Fourthly, apart from the sky elm demon plant, no other monarchs would return during the sacred fruit feast. After the banquet with Zhao Xingwu ended, the Feng residence regained its peace. Feng Ping continued his closed-door cultivation. In the eyes of outsiders, Feng Ping was trying to break through to peak rank 6, but Feng Ping was actually trying to achieve rank 8 4th level. Other than the breakthrough in martial arts, Feng Ping continued to divide his strength to prevent his ability to control his strength from deteriorating once he became stronger. While he was in closed-door cultivation, Feng Ping was also reading some books. There was a library in Duke Feng's residence. As an outsider, Feng Ping did not know much about the restricted area. It was necessary for him to borrow some books to understand the situation. This was something that Jin Yuhuai and the rest were doing, so it was not surprising. Meanwhile, Magic City Catacombs. Hope City. Outside the city, a streak of sword light tore through the air. Old Manly guffawed. Green-haired tortoise, you think you can kill me? Dream on? A cold snort rang out, and a figure appeared in a flash. Soon, a second figure, a third figure, and 3 figures appeared in succession. Longevity's sword, you're very powerful. If 3 of us can't kill you, then 4 or 5 of us. This time, you're dead for sure. As soon as he finished speaking, a few more auras rose in the distance. At that moment, a sword gleam shot out from behind Old Man Li, tearing through the void. Wu Quishan seemed to be in a sorry state, but he laughed heartily and said, with just the 2 of you? Only 6 people? Not enough. Anything else? As you wish. The monster Sunflower City Lord sneered. At this time, several towering demon plants soared into the sky from afar and rapidly flew over. Old Man Li grinned. Is he on steroids? Must he really want to kill us? Wu Quishan also had a smile on his face as he said, Monster Plant 5 cities, Monster Phoenix City, 6 cities working together. It's not easy. Of the 12 rank 9s, only 9 are here now. Where are the rest? Although he said that, he cursed in his heart. More and more. On their side, Li Chongsheng, an elder fan, only had 3 people. Guo Shengquan and the rest could only hold back 1 rank 9 at most. 3 people against 8 rank 9s, and it might not even be all of them. If old Zhang still did not send reinforcements, they would be finished. The monster Sunflower City Lord sneered and said, I'll satisfy you. MCMAU is now on the royal court's must-kill order. Don't even think about living. Old Manly sneered and said disdainfully, "What's the use of saying all this? Come on in. Even if I die, I'll bring you along with me. I want to see if you can block this strike of mine before I die." The monster Sunflower City lord snorted coldly and did not reply. Both sides quickly retreated. After retreating to a certain distance, Wu Quishan suddenly looked at Old Man Li and cursed. Where did he go? What? Still playing dumb? Wu Quishan's expression darkened. Where's Fong Ping? Old Zhang hadn't sent reinforcements yet. He was probably in trouble. Who knew if there would be any reinforcements? Let that kid get some good stuff to nourish himself. In the past, needless to say, that kid would have sent it himself. Now there's no movement. Is he not in the university anymore? How could that be? Keep hiding it. Wu Quishan glared at him, took a deep breath and said, if this goes on, we'll all die. I don't know what old Zhang is doing. The 6 cities have joined forces. At least a few rank 9s should have come as reinforcements. Now none of them are here. When they meet up, we'll be in trouble. Old Manly panted and said helplessly, these guys are determined to kill us this time. Not only us, MCMAU is their target. Wu Quishan retreated to the city wall. Looking at the MCMAU instructors and students who were rushing back to the city from outside Hope City, he frowned slightly and said, someone has died in battle again. Now the armies from all cities are meeting up. F***CK. It's getting harder and harder. He cursed. Old Man Li also glanced at the people who were rushing back from outside the city. He sighed softly and said after a while, when we annihilated Sky Gate City, only 100 people died in battle. Not long after now, almost 100 people died in battle. If this goes on, the strength that MCMEU has accumulated will be exhausted. That kid is back. He knows that both of us are guarding the catacombs. In the end, so many people died. Do you think he'll scold us to death? You still have the leisure to think about this? Old Manly said helplessly. When that time comes, it's hard to say if both of us will still be alive. If that's the case, he's really not in school? Wu Quishan's expression changed. He could not help but scold. I knew something was wrong before. When we fought Monster Sunflower City, that kid couldn't be among them too, right? You just King mess around. Wu Quishan scolded for a while, then looked at the rank 9s who were meeting up in the distance. He exhaled and said, we're in big trouble. Let some people retreat first. Retreat? Old Manly frowned. Very quickly, he gritted his teeth and said, don't retreat. There are almost 2,000 middle-rank people in MCMAU. The 6 cities' armies are only the combined armies of Monster Sunflower City and Monster Phoenix City. The number of middle-rank martial artists is also only this. We can fight. Not only can we fight, but we must also win. As long as we can hold back the high ranks, there's no reason MCMU will lose. How can there be no deaths in war? Some dying in battle. That's something that can't be helped. But according to the previous situation, we have 2,000 middle ranks. We can fight them even if we fight 5,000. The number of foreign martial artists is equal to our middle ranks. What's there to be afraid of? Even if the 6 cities join forces and all of them meet up, there are only 5,000 to 6,000 middle ranks. We can fight them. You're crazy. If they all die, just wait for that kid to go crazy. Don't worry about him. Old Manly took a deep breath and said, most of the new students don't know the cruelty of war. Not just the new students. Ever since his batch, the casualties among the students have never been high. Even in the battle that destroyed Sky Gate City, it was the same. How can there be no deaths in war? Last time when Sky Gate City was defeated, these fellows still thought that the catacombs could not withstand a single blow. That's good too. Let them see what cruelty is. Wu Quishan took another look at the MCMEU instructors and students who were still retreating outside the city. After a long time, he said, fine, let's fight then. That kid is soft-hearted and lacks ruthlessness. This time, let him know that blindly protecting isn't a good thing. Also let him understand that MCMEU instructors and students will not be burdens. They are also martial artists who dare to fight. Both of them looked at each other and said nothing more. They stared vigilantly at the rank 9 powerhouses who were meeting up in the distance. At the same time, Education Department. Minister Wang said anxiously, Minister, Magic City's catacombs is in chaos. The Six-City Alliance is bound to destroy MCMAU. Send people to rescue them quickly. Zhang Tao frowned. Rescue? How? Now all the catacombs have gone crazy. They are all attacking and fighting. But there are still a few rank 9s that can be mobilized. Zhang Tao glanced at him and snorted. You go. Aren't you already rank 8 5th refinement? You've been in closed-door cultivation for so many days, but I don't see you breaking through. Go to Magic City's catacombs. Also, call Nin Yunping and the others. If you don't die in the catacombs, then there's hope to enter rank 9. If you die in the battle, then that's fate. Rank 9s can't be mobilized. There's also a big battle in Capital City's catacombs. In other places, there are a lot of sporadic battles, but no buts. Minister Wang gritted his teeth and said nothing more. Soon, he became the office manager and began to contact people to go to MCMAU. After Minister Wang went out, Zhang Tao leaned on the chair and pondered. Beside his ear, Li Jun said in a low voice, Do you really want to watch? Li Changxing and the others have died in the catacombs. That's a huge loss. Zhang Tao said impatiently, Don't worry about this. Who can survive? Let the others gather and attack Capital City's catacombs. It's good that MCMAU has attracted the attention of the restricted area. Capital City's catacombs has been fighting for almost 100 years. It's time to kill some more fellows. You must be fast. We must give people the impression that Sino Nation is doing its best to rescue MCMU. If Li Changxing and Wu Quishan die in the battle. Fine, let's not talk about them. Your grandchildren are also in Magic City's catacombs now. Zhang Tao said calmly. That's fate. I've said it before. That kid isn't ruthless enough. I'll teach him a lesson. Let's see if he dares to cause trouble everywhere again. It's fine now. How can there be no deaths in war? Anyone can die. He's no exception. This be asterisk starred. He's let Monster Life King Court join the battle in advance. He's ruined a lot of things. If MCMU really suffers heavy casualties this time, it's not our responsibility, it's his. He does things without considering the consequences. I can't keep wiping his ass for him. He can mess around normally, but how can he mess around during critical moments? He has no patience at all. That time at the King's Battleground, he either killed Ji Yao directly or left her alone. Now we're in trouble. He hasn't appeared yet. Zhang Tao, is he really still in MCMAU? How would I know? Zhang Tao said impatiently. I'm not a follower. Am I supposed to keep an eye on him? Where is he hiding in seclusion? Am I supposed to look for him everywhere? Don't worry about him. You do what you need to do. Let the Fallen Star Army and Wuan Army get ready. We're going to do something big this time. Don't Capital City's catacombs like to fight? After fighting for so many years, with countless casualties, they still dare to violate the ban. This time, we'll let them suffer a big loss. Legion asked again, Are we really going to attack Capital City and not Magic City? That's right. All right, I'll arrange it right away. But I have to remind you, if Wu Quishan and Li Changxing really fall, even if we take Capital City, it might not be worth it. I know. I don't need you to remind me. Zhang Tao frowned. They won't die that easily. Wu Quishan and Fan Haiping are originality martial artists. Li Changxing is almost the same. Together with Guo Shengquan and the others, they might be able to enter originality directly during critical moments. It's only the 6 cities. There are still a few monster plants that won't leave their roots until the last moment. If they die, it can only be said that they were unlucky. Then the rest of MCMAU, Li Jun, don't be so wishy-washy. Someone has to die. If MCMAU doesn't die, then Capital City will suffer great losses. I can't make such a decision just because Fong Ping is unhappy. Right now, attacking Capital City is indeed the most suitable plan for our goal. We can't choose to give up on a group of martial artists in Capital City just because of MCMAU. Li Jun was silent. Not only Fong Ping, you still have 2 grandchildren over there. Zhang Tao did not have many grandchildren. There were 4 in total. The 2 youngest were over at MCMAU. Zhang Tao doted on them very much. Zhang Tao ignored him and continued. Don't just sit around. Go to the Forbidden Catacombs now and wait at Mount Imperial Sea. Wang Jinyang and the others have gone to the king's battleground. Something might go wrong. You go and wait for the results. What about you? I'll go patrol Mount Imperial Sea, just in case. Also, after the patrol, I'll go to Magic City to keep watch. If Magic City's catacombs are really breached, I have to kill those who broke out as soon as possible. Nan Yingyue will keep watch in Capital City to prevent any problems. Li Jin thought for a while and said, Zhang Weiyu can still be transferred. Why don't we let him go to Magic City? Zhang Tao pondered for a moment and said after a long time, Zhang Weiyu is not far from the top. After Nan Yingyue breaks through, the catacombs will keep a close eye on him. If he goes to the catacombs now, it will be very dangerous. Zhang Tao frowned and said, I even suspect that this is the catacombs' plan this time. Recently, all the catacombs have been very turbulent. Maybe they're trying to divert our attention, lure Zhang Weiyu into the catacombs, and take the opportunity to kill him. Unfortunately, we don't know how the catacombs are arranged. Now I'm thinking about the catacombs in Shijiang and Shihai. However, the situation is unclear, so we can't let Zhang Weiyu test it out easily. Li Jun was speechless. Zhang Tao did not say anything else and sighed softly. The previous few big battles made everyone feel that humans were not in a disadvantageous position, but that they could still fight back. However, reality proved that they were thinking too much. If the catacombs did not do anything, then so be it. If they did, how could humans be their opponent? Now, danger was everywhere. MCMU's losses were not too heavy yet, but the losses in other places were even worse. It's a pity that I don't know what's going on with that kid now. Otherwise, it would be good to get some imperishable substances to replenish himself. Thinking of this, Zhang Tao calculated. If he went to patrol Mount Imperial Sea now, he might still run into that guy. He could not do anything about MCMU now. He could not use Zhang Weiyu's life to gamble that the catacombs did not have any arrangements. You can only rely on yourself. The powerhouses in the catacombs are afraid of death, so they won't enter the stage of life and death quickly. It's hard to say how long Li Chongsheng and the rest can hold on until you come back. After waiting for Li Jun's mentality to recede, Zhang Tao thought for a moment. Soon he took out his phone and made a call. After a moment, he said, Go to Magic City, but don't go in recklessly. Wait for news. If it's really the last moment, bring a few people out and give up on Magic City catacombs. Minister, why don't I go in? No. Right now, the Monster Plants King's court must be watching you. If you go in and get entangled, people from the restricted area will come immediately. So, you can only end the battle quickly. Take the opportunity to bring a few people and quickly leave the battlefield. On the other side of the phone, Zhang Weiyu said with a sullen face, Damn, when will these days come to an end? It used to be good, but now it's messed up. Zhang Tao said impatiently, You're talking to me? Ask Li Jun and Nan Yingyue. It's not my responsibility. Both of them have broken through and killed some people. Now they're all waiting for you. How can you continue to succeed? Things don't happen more than 3 times. If you break through, then it's best to do it on the ground. Do it properly. Don't think too much. If you really go to the catacombs, I'm afraid it'll be hard for you to come out alive. I think it's still too early for me to break through. It's not that easy. Then there's no other way. Unless you're 100% sure that you can escape, otherwise, it'll be extremely dangerous for you to enter the catacombs. Right now, we're also not sure where the catacombs have made arrangements. Maybe they have arrangements everywhere. Many of the catacombs castellans have not fought before. We're also not clear about their strength. In short, don't take risks easily. Moreover, people from the restricted area have been entering the outer realm recently. There are people everywhere. If the rank 9 don't fight, it's hard to distinguish their strength. Those who have stepped into Origin Dao have similar chi dynamics, unless they deliberately show it. The catacombs are deliberately misleading us. We can only test them slowly, Zhang Weiyu said angrily. There are too many rank 9s in the catacombs. It's a pity that we don't have much information about them. Otherwise, we can find a chance to take down a group of their powerhouses. Why would we need to hide like this? It's not that simple. Zhang Tao shook his head slightly. Those fellows from the catacombs are watching us. Once we go in, it'll be very difficult to come out. Li Jun and I tried to go in a few times, but we were quickly forced to retreat. As he said that, Zhang Tao continued, moreover, people from the outer realm don't know much about the restricted area. When people from the restricted area come out, and there's a true king guarding, it's hard to catch them. In short, it's extremely difficult to obtain some information. All right, enough nonsense. Be careful. Remember, don't enter the catacombs unless it's the last resort. Understood, Zhang Weiyu responded. After thinking for a while, he said, those two brats at your house, don't worry about them. If they really die over there, there's nothing we can do. Zhang Tao hung up the phone and tapped the table lightly. He did not expect Fong Ping to do anything big this time. He just needed to return safely and bring back some information. I hope nothing happens. However, there are too many rank 9s in the restricted area. That fellow might not be able to come into contact with this level. I'm afraid it's hard. Zhang Tao shook his head again. How could he have the chance to come into contact with powerhouses if he pretended to be a weakling? That fellow might be fooling around in some small city now. The probability of something big happening in the King Battleground is not high. That fellow might not have the chance to sneak in. It's better to wait at the edge of Mount Royal Sea. Sky Plant City. The golden glow on Fong Ping's body flashed again. Rank 8 4th Refinement. Fong Ping was overjoyed. He had finally achieved rank 4 Golden Body. His strength had become much stronger. Fong Ping did not cultivate anymore. He walked out of the courtyard. At this moment, Fong Ping's aura had reached peak rank 6. As soon as he came out, he saw Jin Yuhuai leading a group of people. They seemed to be preparing to go out. Fong Ping's expression did not look too good. Not bad. Previously, he had a few people with him. Now, he had more than 10 people. These few days, this fellow had been living very freely. He had roped in many martial artists from the outer realm. Brother Jin, where are you going? Fong Ping laughed. Jin Yuhuai tilted his head and glanced at Fong Ping. His expression changed slightly. Soon he smiled and said, Congratulations, Brother K. This speed is too fast. You're already a peak warlord? It's all right. It's all thanks to your highness's reward. Fong Ping gave a perfunctory reply. Jin Yuhuai hurriedly smiled and said, It's like this. Recently, many important people have come to the city. Some highnesses have also rushed over. I heard that people from the Destiny Royal Court are also coming today. That's why we're preparing to go and take a look. People from the Destiny Royal Court are coming? Fong Ping's heart stirred slightly. He smiled and said, It just so happens that I've broken through. I'm also thinking of going out to take a look. Shall we go together? Jin Yuhuai cursed in his heart. If I go with you, I'm afraid I'll be killed by the Sky Plan Army. However, since Fong Ping wanted to go, he could not say anything. He laughed dryly and said, All right then. If Brother K doesn't mind, then let's go together. Fong Ping did not hesitate. He did not follow. Instead, he walked straight at the front. Jin Yuhuai and the others behind him could only follow. Genius in a Second Remember website. Mobile version. Chapter 741. Skyplant City. Outside the city gate, the group of people rode on all sorts of demonic beasts and entered the city. Jiao even rode on a phoenix demonic beast and flew through the air. The imperial city didn't allow flying. However, Jiao was an envoy, and her phoenix was a descendant of a true monarch. It wasn't a good idea to let flying monster spirits walk. Of course, even flying monster spirits had to follow the rules if they didn't have a powerful background. Skyplant City. Jiao flew at the very front. The people below her, including the divine generals, were all riding on demonic beasts instead of flying. A few young men and women in the crowd were particularly eye-catching and extravagant. One of the young men had a gloomy look in his eyes as he murmured, Skyplant City is indeed extraordinary. It's even more suitable for cultivation than Destiny City. With that, he looked at a middle-aged man to his left and asked, Royal Uncle, where is Duke Feng's manor? The middle-aged man beside him was also gloomy. Riding a ferocious tiger, he frowned slightly. Don't mess around, Jin. We've come to Skyplant City to get you a holy fruit so you can reach the divine champion realm as soon as possible. Royal Uncle. The young man's expression was cold as he whispered, the holy fruit won't be given to me so easily. I'd rather meet Feng extermination. The middle-aged man called out in a low voice. This is Skyplant City. Don't mess around. The Xian family is different from before. If you want to revitalize the family, you must endure. Getting the holy fruit will help you reach the divine champion realm as soon as possible. That's the most important thing. The young man looked around and chuckled. Zhen understands, but I really want to go to Duke Feng's manor and ask why the royal patriarch was the true monarch who died after so many years of war. Also, true monarch Blue Moon went into seclusion at the true monarch hall after returning. Royal Uncle, I want to visit true monarch Blue Moon after the fruit feast. Shut up. The middle-aged man shot him a cold look, frowning. Don't bring that up again. He transmitted, remember, the royal court still cares about Father. Father has just died, so we can come to Skyplant City to get the holy fruit. However, the Xian family no longer has a true king. Although I stepped into the divine way a long time ago, my progress was not great. You, on the other hand, have just entered the venerable realm not long ago, and your divine Tao has yet to be determined. You should enter the divine general realm as soon as possible so that you don't have to comprehend your own Tao. Father has left behind a true monarch ultimate art. If you study it carefully, you might be able to walk the same path as Father. If my Xian family wants to rise again, we can only rely on you. Right now, I can't change to the divine Tao and recultivate. Once I change to the divine Tao, I won't be able to quickly comprehend Father's Tao and fall from the divine Tao realm. The Xian family will be in danger. Uncle Wang, the young man, Xianjun, revealed a sorrowful expression as he transmitted his voice. With Wang Zu's death, is the royal court going to let it go just like that? King Feng and the others had caused Wang Zu's death, and true monarch Blue Moon had even fought alongside Wang Jin, or heard that it might not be just King Feng. There might be someone else who secretly made a move which led to Ancestor Wang's death. Watch your words. And Ji Yao. Xian Jun's face revealed a hint of resentment. He looked at Ji Yao, who was in front of him, and transmitted his voice. If not for her, Ancestor Wang wouldn't have fought in order to take revenge on Feng Ping. When Ancestor Wang was still alive, he treated her very well. Now that he was implicated, she was only punished by the Lord. Uncle Wang, this is so unfair. She has already decided to get the holy fruit. As for me, Ancestor Wang died in battle. I'm afraid it won't be easy to get the holy fruit. Zhen is unwilling. The middle-aged man's expression changed slightly. After a long time, he transmitted his voice. Don't hate. Remember, follow the original plan to gain Ji Yao's sympathy and display your strength and talent. Now, if the Xian family wants to maintain its position, we can only rely on you. If you marry Ji Yao, the Xian family will be able to rise again sooner or later and defend the Xian King region. Otherwise, after a period of time, the King region will fall. I can at most be a city lord. From then on, the Xian family can only defend a royal city. However, a royal city has to pay tribute to the royal court every year. How are we going to feed the Xian family? How are we going to let the Xian family produce another true king powerhouse? Xianjun took another look at Ji Yao, who was in the air in front of him, and nodded slightly. His gaze was still extremely sinister. Although he hated Ji Yao, Uncle Wang was right. He could only rely on Ji Yao to take back everything that belonged to the Xian family. Otherwise, the Xian family with only one deity realm powerhouse could not defend the King region. With Ancestor Wang's death, many people were watching the King region. Those subsidiary divine generals of the Xian family were all restless and prepared to seize the Xian family's property. With Ancestor Wang gone, Uncle could not suppress those divine generals. Now that he did not make a move, it was because Wang Zu was dead. His relationship with Ji Yao also seemed to be good to others. That was why everything was preserved. However, this was not a long-term plan. I have to become a divine general quickly, embark on the divine Tao of Ancestor Wang, and marry Ji Yao. Only then will I have the chance to grow smoothly and become a true king to take revenge. Inner City. On a crystal tall building. Fong Ping drank wine mixed with a large number of energy fruits and said with a smile, Lord Fengyu, are those few young martial artists the descendants of a true king? I think they are still before divine generals. Fengyu also drank a mouthful of wine, drinking until Jin Yuhuai's face turned pale. 1 cup was about 10 life stones. Kuei Ming, this bastard, he said that he would not pay. He actually invited Fengyu and even ordered such expensive 100 treasures due. If he continued to drink like this, sooner or later he would be bankrupted by these 2 beasts. Jin Yuhuai wished he could kill these 2 fellows, but at this moment, he could only put on a smile and pretend to be calm. Fengyu drank a cup of wine and said with a smile, Princess Ji Yao, you have seen them before. The other 3 are also descendants of a true king. The one on the left is a descendant of the Tiger King, a peak commander. The one in the middle is a descendant of the 100 Mountain King, a beginner venerable. The one on the right, Fengyu looked for a while, then frowned slightly and said after a while, descendant of Xian King, Xianzhen. Descendant of Xian King? Fong Ping saw that his expression was not right and asked curiously, Lord, this is... Fengyu took a light breath and said quickly, Xian Yu, true king's grandson, is also one of the Destiny Royal Court's crown princes, and Xian Yu, true king, died previously. Previously, I heard that Xianzhen caused a ruckus in the Destiny Royal Court and wanted us to give an explanation. However, this matter has nothing to do with Prince Feng Mansion. It should be Li Yi and the others who have a headache. Xianzhen always felt that it was because of Lord Prince Feng. However, Prince Feng Mansion will not bear the responsibility for this matter. The death of a true king is not a small matter. When it comes to a critical moment, Prince Feng Mansion will not bear the responsibility for others. Fong Ping understood. He was saying that when it came to a critical moment, he would push the responsibility to the Lord's faction. Fong Ping observed Xianzhen for a while. A descendant of a fallen true king, this identity was good. If this person knew that the Lord's faction had schemed against his grandfather and caused his grandfather's death, would he fly into a rage? Would he be so indignant that he would kill Li Yi and Feng Yeshing out of his desire for revenge? No, including Ji Yao. A crazy fellow who was eager for revenge would kill Ji Yao. The Destiny Royal Court's true king going out to battle had a lot to do with Ji Yao. I must preserve Kuei Ming's identity. This identity is very good. Fong Ping began to plan in his heart. Before this, he had been wondering if the fallen true king's descendants would come. The probability of them coming was not small. A true king had fallen. Judging from Ji Yao's tone earlier, it was obvious that she was not done yet. If that was the case, it would make sense for the fallen true king's descendants to come to Sky Plant's royal court. Whether it was compensation or something else, the person involved had to come. Otherwise, if the fallen true king's death was covered up just like that, the other true kings in Sky Plant's royal court would not agree to it. After killing Li Yi and Ji Yao, I can keep Feng Yeshing alive. I'll let him bring me to the king battlefield. It'll be safer for me to escape from there. If I kill the descendants of these 2 Lord Kings, no matter what the reason is, it will cause chaos. If the one who killed them is a fallen true king's descendant, it will be even more of a mess. If Ji Yao dies here, no matter who killed her, it will be a big deal. If Li Yi is killed in Sky Plant City, it will be an even bigger deal. Thoughts rose in Fong Ping's mind. Xianzhen, this identity was indeed not bad. However, these fellows were all gathered together. It was not easy to attack. There were also general-level powerhouses around them. It was even more difficult to attack. I'll do it. After I'm done, I'll leave. Whether I kill Feng Yesheng or not, whether he brings me to the king battlefield, I have to leave as soon as possible. Fong Ping thought to himself. But he said, Sir, will Her Highness Ji Yao and the others move to the royal court? Of course not. Feng Yu smiled. Why would the royal court let martial artists from the outer court move in? They will stay at the place arranged by the tribute hall. Fong Ping smiled. I see that the monsters under them are ferocious. I don't know if they will sell them. Be careful with your words. Feng Yu reminded him. Don't go looking for them with the idea of buying and selling monsters. It will easily cause trouble. In Skyplant's royal court, monsters are not their vassals. They have the same status. They're just partners. I misspoke. Fong Ping felt a little regretful. He said, Sir, is there no other way? Don't think about this. Feng Yu's attitude towards Fong Ping was quite friendly. Fong Ping, who had already become a peak warrior, was not too far away from becoming a commander in his eyes. At this moment, seeing that Fong Ping was interested in monsters, he smiled. Actually, the royal court also has these contracted monsters. Of course, it's mainly monster plants. However, we are different from them. We will only find some contracted monster plants to work with when we reach God general level. Therefore, in the royal court, those who have contracted monster plants are all top-notch powerhouses. However, there is also an advantage to this. We do not need to provide for the monsters anymore. When everyone works together, the other party will be God general level. As for Skyplant's royal court, although they have been working together for a long time, it is not that easy to provide for the monsters. If you want the monsters to keep up with your cultivation progress, it will consume a lot of resources. Even ordinary martial artists cannot afford it. Fong Ping understood now. No wonder there were almost no martial artists in the outer domain who would subdue monsters. Just like humans, the outer domain martial artists might not be able to afford it. On the human side, the monsters subdued had a higher probability of becoming divine weapons. They could eat too much. Moreover, their progress was not as fast as humans. If they wanted to keep up with the humans' progress, the resources consumed would be astronomical. Just look at Jiao. The more it ate, the higher its level became. Later on, it even had to eat imperishable substances. As Fong Ping spoke, Ji Yao and the group had already walked past the building where they were. Ji Yao, who was flying in the air, swept a glance at them. She did not care. Although she had seen Fong Ping and the others not long ago, these people were not worthy of Ji Yao's attention. She had long since ignored them. Fong Ping did not care about this. He continued to stare at them. Ji Yao has improved very quickly. Peak rank 7. Fong Ping was secretly shocked. The Ji family was really rich. How many good things had she eaten? It had not even been half a year since the trip to the royal battlefield. Ji Yao had actually gone from peak rank 6 to peak rank 7. She must have eaten countless treasures, right? Feng Mieshing was considered rich. However, until now, he had not entered upper stage rank 7. He was still a middle stage rank 7. Comparing these two people, their wealth was obvious at a glance. Peak rank 7. This is not enough. However, this woman might be carrying the Life King's split body. I still need to take it easy, Fong Ping thought to himself. He continued to drink in big gulps until Jin Yuhuai's face was ashen. At this moment, it was only a few days before the Holy Fruit Feast. I should also get down to business. I'll take this as practice for what's coming next. Fong Ping did not look at Ji Yao and the others anymore. Very quickly, he left the small building. As for paying the bill, that was, of course, Jin Yuhuai and the others' business. The Holy Fruit Feast was also getting closer and closer. At this time, the number of powerhouses in Skyplant City had increased greatly. At this time, Fong Ping was no longer in closed-door cultivation. He would often go out for a walk. No one cared about this. Martial artists from other regions had been going out these days. The prosperity of Skyplant City made these people enjoy themselves a little. Feng Mieshing had also disappeared these few days. No one knew if he was preparing for something. As Fong Ping went out for a walk, something small happened in Skyplant City. It was indeed not a big deal. One of the commander-level powerhouses under Li Yi's command had suddenly disappeared. No one knew where he had gone. Li Yi was still in closed-door cultivation in the palace. He had his own mansion in the imperial city. Although Li Yi had recruited some powerhouses in recent years, the rank 8 third-stage powerhouse who was his Dao protector last time was considered the strongest person he had recruited. The rest were a few commander-level powerhouses. Before this, one had already died. Now another one had gone missing. The outside world did not care much. The people in Li Yi's mansion were a little surprised. Where did this commander-level powerhouse go? Li was in closed-door cultivation. The rank 8 powerhouse was also in the palace. There were only a few commander-level powerhouses in the mansion. They really could not do anything about it. No one cared that a commander-level powerhouse had gone missing. After all, the commander-level powerhouse was a rank 7 powerhouse. It was normal for him to go out for some business, although the timing was not quite right. Soon, however, in Li Yi's mansion, the second commander-level powerhouse disappeared. 2 had disappeared, and 1 had died. In a short period of time, without 3 commander-level powerhouses, some people in Li Yi's mansion could not sit still. The Skyplant military had also sent people to investigate, but there was no conclusion. In the palace, Li had also just come out of the Lake of Life. At this moment, his body was glowing gold yellow. After a few days, Li had finished honing the last of his skull and entered rank 8. When he heard the news from the mansion, Li Yi's expression was extremely gloomy. He did not have many powerhouses under his command. 2 commander-level powerhouses had gone missing all of a sudden. 1 had even died before this. Now, there were only 2 commander-level powerhouses under his command. Where did Mu He and the others go? Li mumbled. A general who came to report the news said in a trembling voice, "I don't know." Commander Mu He and the others suddenly disappeared. The Skyplant military has checked. There are no records of them leaving the city. They didn't leave the city? Li frowned. They didn't leave the city. Where are they? Having said that, he asked, "Have you checked other places? Are they in the life mining area?" The incomer hurriedly denied. "No." Commander Li Yi went down to check. He didn't see Commander Mu He and the others. Li Yi tapped the seat of the chair softly. He looked at the rank 8 powerhouse beside him and asked, "Li Yuan, where do you think Mu He and the others went?" Li Yuan was a rank 8 third forging martial artist. He was also the strongest powerhouse Li Yi had recruited so far. He was highly regarded by Li Yi. Hearing Li Yi's question, he thought for a while before saying, "Mu He and the others wouldn't have left the mansion without a word. Also, the Skyplant military is looking for them now. Our people are also looking for them. If they're still in the city, then they should show up. Unless they're entangled with something and can't come back. Or they're already dead." Dead? Li Yi's expression darkened even more. He said in a low voice, "Did anything special happen in the Imperial City recently?" The general powerhouse, who was still kneeling on the ground, thought for a while before saying, "The Destiny Royal Court's envoy group has arrived at the Royal Court. Her Highness Ji Yao is the envoy. The other highnesses have also arrived at the Imperial City one after another." "What about Feng Yesheng?" "His Highness Feng seems to be in closed-door cultivation recently. I heard that he might be breaking through to upper stage commander." "Closed-door cultivation? What about Feng Zhe and Feng Hua from the Feng Mansion?" "Both of them have been in the Feng Mansion all this time," Li Yuan said softly. "Venerables might not be able to make the 2 captains disappear without a trace. Feng Hua is on par with me, so I'm afraid he won't be able to do it. Feng Zhe is at the peak of the Venerable realm, so he might be able to do it, but killing Captain Mu, he won't be of any benefit to them. Feng Yesheng is still waiting for the Holy Fruit Feast to snatch the Holy Fruits, and he's also waiting to fight for the position of the Left Marshal, as well as to cause trouble for His Highness. At this time, he might not cause any more trouble." Li frowned. "I also feel that he won't do this now, but if he wasn't the one who disappeared, who was it? What's his motive?" Li was still thinking when she suddenly said, "Who's in the Destiny Royal Court's envoy group?" "Her Highness Ji Yao, Divine General Ji Nan, Divine General Xian Tong, and Her Highness Xian Jun." Li suddenly frowned. "The descendants of the mystic Jade Monarch." Then she looked at Li Yuan and asked, "Did Feng Yesheng try to sow discord?" Without waiting for him to answer, she looked at her generals and asked, "Has Divine General Xian Tong done anything recently?" "Your Highness, this subordinate doesn't know." "Trash!" Li waved her hand. "Scram." When they ran away in fear, Li Yuan said softly, "Your Highness suspects that Divine General Xian Tong did it." "It's hard to say. They're all suspects. Feng Yesheng, the other princes, and Xian Tong are all suspects. None of them are good people. Li Yi frowned. If Mu He and Divine General Xiantong are really dead, then someone might be trying to mess things up. How audacious to actually dare to act in the Imperial City. Aren't they afraid that Lord Tianyu will sense something amiss and kill him? Li Yi stood up. I'm going back. Your Highness. Li Yuan said hurriedly. This isn't the right time. Stay in the Imperial Court. Li Yi said disapprovingly. I'm at the Venerable Realm, and so are you. If they want to act against us, deity realm powerhouses will cause a huge commotion. My residence isn't far from the Imperial Court, and Tian, you will be able to sense it very quickly. Moreover, do they dare to act against me in the Imperial City? These fellows won't dare to act recklessly. I want to see who did it. If I don't go back, this palace's residence will become an empty residence. Li Yuan thought about it and said, then go to the Tianji army over there and invite a divine general to accompany. No need. Moreover, it's not suitable either. Previously, Kuei Ming that beast ruined my important matter. Now the Tianji army is watching. I can't let the Tianji army side take action privately again. However, you go to the central region of the Tianji army and let Uncle Wang arrange a team of powerhouses to patrol the vicinity of my residence. Li Yuan saw that Li Yi was not careless and heaved a sigh of relief instead. He hurriedly said, then this subordinate will go and arrange it right away. With the Tianji army patrolling, no matter how bold the thief is, they won't dare to cause trouble in the residence either. Li did not speak anymore, her expression still dark. Who was it that did it this time? Gut's really big enough. This was the Imperial City. Wanting to kill two commanders without making a sound was not that simple. Deity realm powerhouses would all create a bit of a commotion. Moreover, once a deity realm powerhouse made a move, it could not be concealed. Presently, there were many powerhouses in the Imperial City. It was very easy to be exposed. Could it be an acquaintance? Li Yi pondered in her heart. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to do. At the same time, a few thousand meters away from the Imperial Palace, Fong Ping looked around. He entered a place that sold heavenly treasures, looked around casually for a while, and left quickly. Li left the Imperial Palace. Fong Ping calculated in his heart again. Li left the Imperial Palace, but Xianjun did not leave the messenger's dojo. This matter was not easy to handle. He still had to think of a way to let Xianjun out, and he could not let a divine general follow her. While Fong Ping was thinking, his heart suddenly moved slightly. Damn, what was going on? In front, Zhao Xingwu walked straight towards his side. Fong Ping hurriedly avoided him, walking to the side of the Crystal Avenue. Zhao Xingwu did not seem to care about him, continuing to walk in the direction of the Imperial Palace. He did not know if he was going to the Imperial Palace. Fong Ping lowered his head obediently and did not say anything. After Zhao Xingwu left, Fong Ping cursed wildly in his heart. What was the meaning of this? He had already met Zhao Xingwu 3 times these few days. Although Zhao Xingwu was just passing by every time, as someone who was not far from the summit, did he have so much free time? Wandering outside every day, Fong Ping did not care about him anymore. Very quickly, he walked towards Prince Feng's residence. Behind him, Zhao Xingwu walked straight to the Imperial Palace gate, looked at the powerhouse guarding the gate, and said lightly, I would like to pay a visit to True King Tianyu. Does True King Tianyu have time to meet me? The gatekeeper was a peak rank 8 powerhouse. Seeing Zhao Xingwu, he felt a slight headache. Quickly, he said, General Zhao, Lord Tianyu is condensing the holy fruit in the next few days. He is not seeing guests. Then I shall pay my respects to the royal lord. The royal lord is not feeling well and needs to rest. He is not able to receive you, sir. Not feeling well was not suitable to be used on others, but it was fine to use it on the royal lord. Zhao Xingwu frowned. After a while, he said, then forget it. When True King Tianyu and the royal lord are free, I will be free anytime. Having said that, Zhao Xingwu turned and left. A silhouette appeared in his peripheral vision, and he hesitated slightly. Was it him? If it was, then he was too bold. He actually dared to come so close to the Imperial Palace. There were true king-level powerhouses here. Was he the one who killed Li Yi's subordinates? He was also one of the commanders of the Tianji army. Although he was not in charge, he still knew such news. Li Yi had just left the imperial palace. Could it be? Zhao Xingwu hesitated again. Killing 2 rank 7 martial artists without making a sound was something only an Origin Path powerhouse could do. However, other than Origin Path powerhouses, there were others who could do it. A fellow who had a golden house. A certain someone's golden house could trap a rank 7 martial artist in an instant by concealing his aura. By concealing his aura, he could kill the other party quickly. The other party could not even make a sound. I can't continue to run into him by chance. As Zhao Xingwu thought about this matter, he walked back to his own mansion, minding his own business. He was being watched by many people. He could not act on his own. On the other hand, that fellow was a small fry. Not many people would pay attention to him. Coming from another realm, the imperial city was bustling. Martial artists from other realms wandering around would not attract attention. If it's him who killed Li Yi's people and waited for Li Yi to return to the mansion, could it be that he wants to make a move on Li Yi? But Li Yi is not stupid. He has also reached rank 8. If he kills Li Yi, he might not be able to escape. Is it a real martial artist from another realm? Or is that fellow in disguise? Can he disguise? Zhao Xingwu was not too sure about this. However, he was sure of one thing. That fellow could conceal his aura. Moreover, he had seen some people before. He was a top-notch powerhouse below the pinnacle. If he had seen them before, he would feel a sense of familiarity. No matter how he changed, the sense of familiarity would not change. Moreover, when he was being hunted that day, he was at ease. Most importantly, not many people noticed that when he was fighting, he actually protected the heavenly golden lotus in his arms. If he was not 100% sure, why would he deliberately protect these external objects? He could not even escape in time. A martial artist from the 7 southern regions. Sunflower. Monster Sunflower City. MCMU's frontline city. When he left the 100 Kings Palace, he actually purposely sized up the underground treasure vault's door. Is he curious, or does he have other motives? Many thoughts emerged in Zhao Xingwu's mind. It was a pity that he could not keep an eye on the other party. Otherwise, he could investigate a little and see if the people in Li Yi's residence had disappeared. If he was in Duke Feng's residence, then he would be sure. His eyes are filled with a thieving glint. He doesn't look like a good person. His gaze is very similar to that kid's. Zhao Xingwu sighed in his heart again. The kid's gaze when he saw something good was very similar. Chapter 742. Prince Feng's Residence. In the courtyard. Zhao Xingwu, Fang Ping muttered in his heart. Was Zhao Xingwu good or bad? Old Zhang didn't say anything. Then he had to treat the other party as a bad person. His identity might really have been exposed. Zhao Xingwu wanted to kill him before. Would he attack him now? Right now, he wasn't sure if he was someone from Duke Feng's residence, so he didn't dare to act rashly. However, now that he was being watched by Zhao Xingwu, he might quickly give himself away. We have to prepare for the worst. Fang Ping was on his guard. He dared not trust Zhao Xingwu. The other party might attack him. Even if Zhang Xian didn't make a move, he would still be in deep trouble if his identity was exposed. Could it be that I have to give up the identity of Kuei Ming? Maybe. I need to give up. Previously, Fang Ping was still thinking of keeping Kuei Ming's identity. But now it was very dangerous. Perhaps Zhao Xingwu had discovered something. Kuei Ming's previous performance was a little overboard. It was not a good thing to attract attention. It's dangerous to impersonate someone you don't know. Thoughts flashed through Fang Ping's mind. He had 2 objectives for coming to the palace this time. First, he had disturbed the catacombs. Second, he could earn a lot of money. It would be best if he didn't expose his identity. But in reality, the first goal and the second goal conflicted. If he didn't want to expose his identity, then he couldn't rob others. If his personal style was too strong, it would be easy for others to associate him with him. His personal charm is too great. I can't even stop him. Fang Ping had no doubt that if he really went to mine or rob something else, it would make some people think otherwise. Maybe I can take the initiative to do something, such as exposing my identity? Fang Ping suddenly had a ridiculous thought. It would be even better if it was real and fake, making it hard for others to see through and figure it out. I'm afraid I really have to give up on Kue Ming's identity. No, don't give up on Kue Ming's identity. Make Kue Ming disappear. Fong Ping thought of something else. Perhaps he should not give up on Kue Ming's identity and disappear from the imperial city. His mentality probed into the space. Fong Ping glanced at Kue Ming's corpse and thought of many things. The disappearance of someone from Li Yi's side was not enough to prove that it was Xian Jin's doing. However, what if someone from Feng Extermination's side also disappeared? Zhao Xingwu, Fong Ping muttered to himself again. It was better not to pin his hopes on others. If Zhao Xingwu really suspected him, then he had to resolve it immediately. Otherwise, he would get into trouble sooner or later. Who knew what kind of person Zhao Xingwu was? It's better to rely on myself than on others. In the catacombs, I can only trust myself. Fong Ping thought about many things. Then, as usual, he continued wandering around. The Holy Fruit Feast was drawing closer and closer. 3 more days. In the past 3 days, no one had disappeared, and every family had increased their vigilance. However, the Holy Fruit Feast was just around the corner. Aside from the incident in Li An's residence, the rest of the people were relieved. Prince Feng's residence. Commander's court. Feng Yu looked at Jin Yuhuai, who had come to report the news, and couldn't help but laugh. He stood up and said, Kue Ming invited me to a banquet again? Jin Yuhuai had a helpless and sorrowful expression. Yes, again. In the past few days, that bastard Kue Ming had gone crazy. He often invited Feng Yu to banquets, and every time, the consumption was enormous. Jin Yuhuai had to foot the bill. Jin Yuhuai was almost unable to control himself. One more time, and he would explode. How could he cheat people like this? Every time, he would use his own money to make friends with the important people in the residence. This was too much. Despite the anger in his heart, Jin Yuhuai still put on a smile and said, Sir, Brother Kei, and we are newcomers. In the residence, only you can help us the most, sir. Please do us the honor. Feng Yu smiled. Fine, I'll go take a look then. Next time, tell Kue Ming not to waste any more. Save the life stones. You'll need them in the future. Jin Yuhuai smiled and nodded hurriedly, but in his heart, he was cursing. It was not Kue Ming's. Why should he save it? Without another word, Jin Yuhuai led the way in front with a respectful expression. These days in the imperial city, that bastard Kue Ming did not know if he had been to other places, but he was familiar with places to eat, drink, and have fun. Along the way, Feng Yu smiled and said, This time at the Divine Guest Restaurant. Yes, sir, the food at the Divine Guest Restaurant is not bad. Feng Yu smiled and nodded. It was a good place. A meal would cost at least 100 life stones. Even he, who worked in the Feng residence, only received a few hundred life stones every year. Sometimes, Feng Yu also felt that being a commander in the outer domain might not be worse than being in a forbidden zone. However, there were many opportunities in the imperial court, and it was not just a matter of salary. It was too difficult to become a god general in the outer domain. Soon, a huge building appeared in front of the two of them. Jin Yuhuai hurriedly smiled and said, Sir, Brother Kue booked the Divine Dao Pavilion on the 3rd floor. Divine Dao Pavilion. Kue Ming is too wasteful. Feng Yu smiled happily, but he scolded him. It was just a meal, why waste so much? Jin Yuhuai cursed again. Waste? If it's a waste, then don't come. You know it's expensive, but you still come. Aren't you just trying to earn a living? Shameless fellow. As the two of them spoke, they soon reached the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was different from the 1st and 2nd floors. The 3rd floor was divided into a few halls, and each hall was huge. Jin Yuhuai continued to lead Feng Yu to the Divine Dao Pavilion. After a few steps, Feng Yu stopped in front of a hall. He frowned slightly and did not say much. After passing the hall, he said, Xian Jin, these people are here too. Jin Yuhuai smiled and said, I'm not sure about this, but the Heaven Fate Royal Court is not far from the Divine Guest Building. Feng Yu did not say much. Soon, the two of them reached the Divine Dao Pavilion. Feng Yu did not sense Kue Ming's aura. He turned and said, Kue Ming is not here yet? Jin Yuhuai cursed in his heart. Where's this fellow? Feng Yu would usually arrive early when he was asked to invite him. Why was he not here today? Even though he was unhappy, Jin Yuhuai hurriedly said, "Sir, please go in and rest for a while. I will go down and take a look." Brother Kue rarely misses time. Perhaps he was delayed by something today. No problem. Feng Yu did not mind and said with a smile, "I know Kue Ming's character. He was probably delayed by something. Go down and take a look." "Sir, please wait." Jin Yuhuai smiled and said. Then he looked at the maidservant waiting at the entrance of the divine Dao pavilion and scolded, "Go and prepare. Sir is here. Prepare to serve the dishes." "Yes." At the entrance, the two maidservants responded delicately and hurriedly went to make arrangements. Jin Yuhuai led Feng Yu into the hall and personally served him tea. Then, he apologized profusely and left the hall to look for Kue Ming. What is that fellow doing? He said that he would talk to Feng Yu about entering the mining area of life to cultivate. He made me excited, and now he is gone. Bastard, if he does this again, I'm going to go bankrupt. Jin Yuhuai cursed in his heart. This was the last time. If Kue Ming asked him to pay next time, he would say that he had no money. Was that fellow really going to kill him? When they were downstairs, Jin Yuhuai looked left and right, but did not see anyone. He was even more frustrated. Feng Yu was still waiting. The other party was a direct descendant of Feng Yexing and a commander expert. If this continued and Feng Yu was unhappy, there would be trouble. After waiting for a while, there was a sudden roar less than 1,000 meters away from where they were. Jin Yuhuai was slightly stunned. At this moment, many experts in the divine guest house opened their windows or went downstairs. Feng Yu went downstairs and frowned. What is going on? Jin Yuhuai, is Kue Ming not here yet? Lord, Brother Kue is not here yet. Just as Jin Yuhuai was speaking, Feng Yu frowned. What is going on ahead? At this moment, a large number of Tianji army soldiers were rushing forward. Feng Yu said, "Let's go and take a look." The royal city has always been peaceful. Recently, there have been many incidents. As he spoke, Feng Yu suddenly bowed. "Greetings, your highnesses." At this moment, Xianjin, Ji Yao, and the rest came down from upstairs. Xianjin snorted coldly when she saw Feng Yu and the Maple Royal clan's crest on his body. Ji Yao also directly ignored him. The few of them looked into the distance. Ji Yao said slowly, "It seems like someone died." Xianjin nodded. "Yes, someone died." With that, he mocked. Tianji City is known as the #1 city in God Continent. Even a true monarch cannot surpass it. However, these few days, there have been incidents. The few young men and women beside Xianjin laughed with a hint of mockery. Tianji City had frequent incidents, and they had seen it. At this moment, Feng Yu suddenly frowned and said, "Let's go." With that, he brought Jin Yuhuai, who was still in a daze, and walked forward. Seeing that he was in a hurry, Xianjun suddenly smiled. "Let's go and take a look." Did something happen to the Feng royal residence? They weren't familiar with the Feng royal residence. However, looking at Feng Yu, they seemed to be related. Lord, Jin Yuhuai was also nervous. Feng Yu took a deep breath. It seems like Kue Ming. Damn it, I hope it's not him. Kue Ming? Jin Yuhuai was shocked. Something happened to Kue Ming? Without giving him a chance to think, they soon arrived at a small alley. The Tianji army had already sealed the place. Once Feng Yu arrived, he immediately shouted, "I am Feng Royal Residence's Feng Yu. Let me in." At this moment, the Tianji army outside had unfriendly expressions and didn't give way. Inside, an expert said calmly, "Let him in." Feng Yu snorted and walked into the small alley. When he entered, Feng Yu's face instantly turned green. He suddenly looked at the few Tianji army generals and gritted his teeth. "Good. Very good. How dare you do this in front of everyone?" The few commanders of the Tianji army also frowned slightly. Soon, a person in front said coldly, "Commander Feng Yu, you can't speak carelessly." Carelessly? Feng Yu's expression was ugly to the extreme. Looking at Kue Ming, whose body exploded and only half a head was left, he said angrily, "How could Kue Ming die here? You deserve to die." Kuei Ming came to the imperial court not long ago, and the only people he offended were you. Last time, you wanted to kill him. This commander didn't think you would dare to do this. As he finished, Feng Yu grabbed half of Kuei Ming's head and said coldly, "A venerable did it. One hit to kill, and there are remnants of imperishable substance." The few commanders didn't speak. They also felt it. Feng Yu looked around and said coldly, "Kuei Ming was killed in the imperial city. This commander will immediately report this matter to His Highness. No one is allowed to leave. Wait for His Highness to deal with it. Jin Yuhuai, go back and tell His Highness that Kuei Ming was killed." At this time, Jin Yuhuai was stunned. Kuei Ming died just like this. He didn't expect this at all. Then, his heart was filled with joy. It was great that he was dead. It was great that he was dead. This guy had been guessing whether he was colluding with the land of rebirth. He even blackmailed him. Now that he was dead, it was great. Hearing Feng Yu shout, Jin Yuhuai hurriedly said, "I'll go back immediately." As he finished speaking, Jin Yuhuai hurriedly ran toward the Feng mansion. In the alley, Feng Yu held half of Kuei Ming's head, looking at the Tianji army cautiously as he slowly retreated. A moment later, before Feng Yexing arrived, a rank 9 divine general from the Tianji army arrived. As if he already knew what happened, he frowned slightly and said, "Commander Feng Yu, we didn't expect Kuei Ming to die. Kuei Ming's death has nothing to do with the Tianji army." "Sir, you don't have to explain to me. When His Highness arrives, everything will be clear." Feng Yu was unwilling to say more. Outside, Ji Yao and the rest were watching the situation inside, as if they were watching a show. Next to her, someone explained in a low voice, "Kuei Ming is from another region. He's from the Feng Mansion. A few days ago, he had a conflict with the Tianji army. On that day, a commander under His Highness Li Yi tried to kill Kuei Ming, but it was all for naught. That commander was killed. Because of this, the left commander of the Tianji army happened. Ji Yao knew about this. She smiled and said, "It's him. I've seen him before. He came out of the 7 southern regions with Feng Yexing. I didn't expect him to die here. There's going to be a good show." Ji Yao was happy to watch the show. Feng Yexing's subordinate was killed on the street. Moreover, it was related to the position of the left commander. Li Yi's people had tried to kill him before, and the Tianji army had participated too. Now it was even more interesting. Kuei Ming was dead. Ji Yao was still waiting to watch the show. Soon, the crowd outside grew. In the crowd, Zhao Xingwu was surprised too. Dead? Kuei Ming was dead? Did that mean that he guessed wrong? Zhao Xingwu was still in shock. Soon, someone outside shouted, "Make way! Make way! His Highness Feng is here!" The crowd opened up a path. Feng Yexing was livid. He rushed over with 2 rank 8 powerhouses and a few rank 7 powerhouses. When Feng Yu saw Feng Yexing, he said hurriedly, "Your Highness, Kuei Ming is dead." "Got it?" Feng Yexing responded coldly and rushed over. With a wave of his hand, half of Kuei Ming's head flew into Feng Yexing's hand. Feng Yexing checked it and said with a livid expression, "Good, very good." On that day, the commander said that since Kuei Ming is dead, unless you kill me, you will have to give Duke Feng's residence an explanation. Feng Yexing's expression was frighteningly ugly. He said coldly, "The Tianji army is so arrogant. They killed people from the Feng Mansion just like that. They might as well kill me too." As soon as he said that, a silhouette descended from midair. He said with a cold expression, "Your Highness Feng, you can't say things like that. Do you think that I would let a nobody like Kuei Ming be killed?" "Hua Qidao." Feng Yexing was hysterical and said angrily, "This is the imperial city. Are the Tianji army all trash? If it wasn't you guys who killed him, then any random person could kill a peak warrior in the court. Is there still any safety in the imperial city?" Hua Qidao was speechless. Regardless of whether the Tianji army did it or not, they were in big trouble. One of the Feng Mansion's champions, one who had a conflict with them, was killed on the streets. At that moment, Feng Yexing suddenly said, "There is still some imperishable substance left on Kuei Ming's body. Fengzhe, sense it and see who left it." Fengzhe hurriedly took the head and sensed it carefully. He was about to speak when half of Kuei Ming's head suddenly exploded. Feng Yexing's expression turned even uglier. Feng Zhu was not surprised. He said in a low voice, "I touched the imperishable substance, and my head exploded. However, this aura, it's a little like who? Speak." Feng Yexing looked around with a cold expression. A maple leaf suddenly appeared in his hand as he gritted his teeth and said, "I want to see who controls this imperial court. How dare they kill me just like that? I've warned them again and again, but they still dare to do this. This is too much." Feng Yexing was furious. Kuei Ming was already a peak champion. His personal strength was not important, but he had said in front of everyone that no one would dare to touch Kuei Ming after the previous incident. How many days had it been? He had been slapped in the face. Not only was Kuei Ming dead, but he was also killed on the bustling street. This was not only a slap to his face, but also to the Feng mansion. Feng Zhe hesitated for a moment before saying, "It's like supremacy, Li Yuan's aura." "Nonsense." At that moment, someone outside shouted. Lian walked in with Li Yuan. Li Yan's expression was ugly as she shouted, "Feng Yexing, tell your people to watch their mouths. Li Yuan has always been with me, so why would he kill someone? Even if I wanted to kill someone, I wouldn't need Li Yuan. I would kill Kuei Ming myself." Feng Zhe transmitted his voice. "Your Highness, there is a slight resemblance, but it's not very clear. It's about to dissipate. It's also possible that someone framed Li Yuan." When Feng Yexing heard this, he did not say anything. He looked at Lian and said coldly, "Lian, you know better than me how Kuei Ming died." After saying that, he looked at Hua Qidao and said coldly, "General Hua, someone from the Feng mansion was killed in front of everyone. There should be an explanation. Is there no clue as to who the real culprit is?" At the side, Lian sneered, "It's just a champion who died." Feng Yexing retorted, "I'm not trash like you. Moreover, who knows if the few commanders in your residence who have disappeared have really disappeared, or just faked it? No one saw them, and no one knows if they're dead or alive. Kuei Ming was killed in front of everyone, and now you're telling me it's insignificant? Lian, you're trash. But don't treat everyone else like trash. Kuei Ming died near the imperial court. Do you know what this means? It means that the Tianji army has completely lost control of the imperial city. It means that if someone wants to kill us, it'll just take a little more effort. You're still so smug, trash. What a joke." Feng Yexing mocked. Lian's face turned green, but Hua Qidao did not retort this time. He said with a cold expression, "Your Highness Feng is right. This place is not far from the imperial court. How dare they kill Kuei Ming in front of everyone? Investigate. This matter must be thoroughly investigated. I also want to see who in the imperial city has the guts to provoke the Tianji army again and again." After saying that, Hua Qidao suddenly looked around and said coldly, "Before I came, this area had already been sealed by the Tianji army. I can confirm that the high-ranked martial artists who were here earlier are still here. No one is left. The one who killed Kuei Ming is a venerable powerhouse, or even a god-general powerhouse. Since everyone has met, please cooperate with the Tianji army this time. Please forgive us." As he said that, he looked at the few commanders who had arrived earlier and said coldly, "Tell me, what did you see?" Reporting to Commander Hua, "We were patrolling in another area when we heard a roar and quickly rushed here. As soon as we arrived, we saw Kuei Ming's corpse. There was no trace of the enemy." The commander of the Tianji army spoke for a while. Hua Qidao said coldly, "Why did Kuei Ming appear here?" At this time, Feng Yu answered, "Kuei Ming invited me to the divine guest house for an appointment. When I arrived with Jin Yuhuai, I didn't see Kuei Ming. While we were waiting, something happened here." Feng Yu said a few words and quickly looked at Jin Yuhuai. Jin Yuhuai said nervously, "These few days, Kuei Ming often invited the lords in the residence. Kuei Ming was preparing to enter the imperial residence's life mining area to cultivate and break through to the quasi-commander level. Today, Kuei Ming asked me to invite Lord Feng Yu. He said he would rush to the divine guest house in advance. In the end, when Lord Feng Yu and I arrived, Kuei Ming was still nowhere to be seen. The previous few times, he had arrived early. After that, it was as the Lord said. We heard the noise, and the Tianji army rushed over. Lord Fengyu sensed that something had happened to Kuei Ming, so he rushed over. In the end, he found out that Kuei Ming had really been killed. Hua Qidao's expression was cold. He looked around and said, "Who is the divine general in charge of this place today?" "Commander Hua, it's me." Hua Qidao glanced at the golden armor divine general beside him and said in a low voice, "Did you sense anything?" The divine general who replied looked helpless and immediately said, "There was nothing unusual at the time. However, these few days, the number of powerhouses in this area has increased. The moment the noise was heard, I had already locked on to 39 high-rank martial artists in this area. However, Commander Hua also knows that killing a general takes a very short time. There were too many high-ranked martial artists nearby at the time. They are all suspects." 39. Hua Qidao glanced coldly at the high-ranked martial artists around him. In the crowd, Ji Yao saw him looking at her and humphed. Hua Qidao ignored her. Ji Yao and her group were the most suspicious. There was no other reason. These people were from Destiny Court. Not only Ji Yao and her group, but also Li Yi and her group, including the other highnesses. Hua Qidao felt a headache coming on. Why were they all here today? 39 high-ranked martial artists. Most of them were powerhouses belonging to various forces. All of these people could have killed Kuei Ming. Usually, a general would die if he were to die. However, Kuei Ming was different. He was a member of Prince Feng Mansion. Moreover, he had just gotten into a conflict with the Sky Plant's army, and Li Yi Feng Miexing had said that no one in the Imperial City would dare to touch Kuei Ming at this time. At most, he would not come to the Imperial City in the future. In the end, it had only been a few days. The Sky Plant's army's matter was not over yet, and Kuei Ming had been killed. This was no longer the left army's matter. If this matter was not handled properly, the entire Sky Plant's army would be implicated. Both the Central and Right Army could be implicated. Was there any value in the existence of a Sky Plant's army that could not protect the Imperial City? Ji Yao, Xianjun, Li Yi, Hua Yu, Ziyue, one by one, names flashed through Hua Qidao's mind. The possibility of Li Yi being the culprit was not high. The others were all suspects. There was even the possibility that the Feng Mansion was directing and acting on their own. However, there was no need for this. The Feng Mansion couldn't handle the entire Tianji army. If they caused trouble now, it would only make the Feng Mansion a laughingstock and benefit others. Who could it be? Hua Qidao cursed in his heart. Over the past few days, things had piled up one after the other. These people did not even stop. What exactly were they trying to do? To completely disrupt the entire Heavenly Plant City? Now, everyone was a suspect. What were they trying to do? Why did he have to take away the entire Tianji army? The center and right divisions of the Tianji army were the last assets of Wang Lord and the right divine general. Once someone tried to take it, how could Wang Lord let it go? It was different from the left division. The left division could not be suppressed by itself, and the Lord did not have a suitable candidate, so he decided to give up. But that did not mean that they had given up on the entire Tianji army. If they gave up on the central division, they might be able to bear it, but the right division definitely could not. The right divine general had been in charge of the right division for many years. If they gave up on the right division, the right divine general would fall out with them. Hua Qidao's heart was filled with mixed feelings. He felt that the atmosphere in the Imperial City was getting more and more strange. Kuei Ming is dead. What a pity. At the same time, Fang Ping sighed in his heart. No, Feng Yu was sighing in his heart. Fang Ping was currently standing beside Feng Miexing, beside Hua Qidao and the rest, waiting for them to track down the murderer. Kuei Ming was dead, and everything was fine. How great! Look, now these people were looking at each other, suspecting each other. No one suspected Kuei Ming, right? As for him, he was Feng Yu. What did it have to do with him? When Kuei Ming died, he was still waiting for Kuei Ming at the Divine Tao Pavilion for his appointment. Feng Yu's identity might be better. A rank 7 martial artist has a higher status, but not many people pay attention to him. He's also Feng Miexing's direct descendant, and he's quite familiar with him. At least he's gotten to know him a lot these days. Not bad. Not bad at all. Fong Ping was very satisfied. This identity was not bad. As long as he was familiar with changing identities, it would be good. See, Zhao Xingwu no longer suspected him, right? The person you suspected is dead. Let's see how you can doubt him. Please remember this book's original domain name, Nine Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 743. Fong Ping did not think it was important who killed Kuei Ming. Hua Qidao was still asking questions. Fong Ping sent a voice transmission to Feng Miexing, saying hurriedly, "Your Highness, Kuei Ming is dead. Some people are acting recklessly now. There are only 2 venerable lords in the house now. Your Highness, why don't you send someone to the True King Hall to inform Duke Feng?" Feng Miexing's expression was cold. He also sent a voice transmission. They don't have the guts. At this time, everyone was talking through voice transmission. After Feng Miexing finished speaking, the strongest Feng Zhi reminded him, "Your Highness, be careful." Fong Ping said hurriedly, "If your Highness is unwilling, why don't you go to Lord Lu's residence and rest for a few days? The 2 venerable lords will accompany your Highness. I will stay behind to guard the Feng mansion. There are no divine generals guarding the mansion now. Your Highness's safety is of utmost importance." "Your Highness." Feng Zhi and Feng Hua looked at each other and said hurriedly, "Your Highness, Feng Hua is right. We will rest in Lord Lu's residence for a few days. It won't be too late for us to return after the sacred fruit feast ends and the powerhouses leave." Feng Miexing frowned. He looked at Fong Ping and said, "If I am not around, you will be in danger." "Your Highness." Fong Ping was touched. He said hurriedly, "I'm not afraid. There must be someone guarding the mansion. Otherwise, how will the other houses look at Prince Feng Mansion? If they all leave the mansion because of fear, Prince Feng Mansion will not be able to survive in the future." Feng Miexing glanced at Feng Hua. Feng Hua was a rank 8 third-stage martial artist. It might be better for him to stay behind in the mansion. Thinking of this, Feng Miexing said, "Feng Hua, stay behind with Feng Hua and the rest. After this, Feng Zhi and I will go to Uncle Godless residence." Feng Hua said hurriedly, "I will be loyal to my duty." Fong Ping also responded hurriedly, sighing in his heart. "Feng Hua, I don't want to kill you, but you insist on staying. I have no choice." As for pretending to be Feng Hua and continuing to improve his position on Feng Miexing's side, forget it. A rank 8 powerhouse was very eye-catching. Moreover, if Feng Miexing did not die now and went to the king's battlefield, they could still go together. However, Feng Hua was a rank 8. Even if he went there, he would not be in the same region. Fong Ping felt that it was still necessary to follow Feng Miexing closely. "Once I get rid of Feng Hua, True King Manor will be mine." Fong Ping sighed. "Just like that, I managed to become the Grand Chief of Feng Mansion? Should he take the underground or veins and treasuries of the Feng Wangfu's estate? What a dilemma. 3rd level rank 8. He's weaker than me. If he's trapped in the Golden House, it shouldn't be too difficult to kill him." As they spoke, Feng Miexing spoke again. "Who do you think killed Kuei Ming? Why did he kill Kuei Ming? Don't tell me it's just to create enmity between us and the Tianji army? But we've never been on good terms with the Tianji army." Fong Ping hesitated for a moment, then said, "Your Highness, I don't think it's Li Yi's doing. Killing Kuei Ming has no benefit to Li Yi and the others. This subordinate suspects someone." "Who?" "Xuanzhen." Fong Ping said anxiously, "Xuanzhen has always been extremely dissatisfied with Prince Feng's mansion. He feels that the death of true monarch Mystic Jade was Lord Feng's fault. He knows what happened to Kuei Ming and what happened before. If he killed Kuei Ming now, not only would the mansion lose face, but it would also make His Highness and Li Yi even more hostile towards each other. There's one more thing that I'm not sure if I should say. Speak. This subordinate feels that Your Highness is still too careless. His Highness wants to marry Her Highness Ji Yao. I feel that the biggest problem isn't Li Yi or the other Highnesses, but Xuanzhen. Xuanzhen has always been following Her Highness Ji Yao and has never left her side. Previously, I heard His Highness Xuanzhen and Her Highness Ji Yao talk about His Highness and Li Yi frequently. Moreover, Her Highness Ji Yao thinks that Xianjun has something to do with Monarch Mystic Jade's death. She feels guilty and is extremely friendly towards Xianjun. Your Highness, if this goes on, Her Highness Ji Yao will probably hate His Highness even more and like Xianjun more and more. Feng Yexing's expression changed slightly. At this moment, he happened to see Xianjun and Ji Yao whispering to each other through voice transmission. Feng Yexing's gaze changed. That damn fellow! He might really be the one who did it. Thinking of this, Feng Yexing quickly asked, "Is he here today?" Her Highness Ji Yao and the others are at the Divine Guest Tower. Where was Divine General Xiantong before? This subordinate does not know, but Divine General Xiantong is not at the Divine Guest Tower. At this moment, Xiantong was also there, but he was not with Ji Yao and the others. Xiantong's expression did not change. In fact, he did not think much about it. It had nothing to do with him. He did not go to the Divine Guest Tower because he wanted to buy something and was not with Ji Yao and the others. Feng Yexing glanced at Xiantong with a dark expression. Xiantong was not at the Divine Guest Tower. That meant that Xiantong had enough time to kill someone. It was just killing a champion martial artist. To Xiantong, it was just a matter of a casual move. Li Yi's commander had disappeared, and Li Yi had lost all her dignity. Her own residence's champion had been killed, and she had lost all her dignity. In terms of status, he was the grandson of a monarch, and Li Yi was the son of a lord. Now that the two royal courts needed to unite by marriage, a marriage could promote cooperation, although the effect was mediocre. However, the probability of the marriage was not small, and he had a higher chance. Xianjun was only the grandson of a fallen monarch, so his chances were slim. However, he had used the death of the Mystic Jade monarch to gain Ji Yao's sympathy. He often spoke ill of Feng Yexing and Li Yi, and then publicly humiliated them. Ji Yao would not like them anymore. Although she did not like them, this situation would worsen because of Xianjun. Thinking of this, Feng Yexing suddenly said, "General Hua, is the person who killed Kuei Ming and caused the disappearance of Li Yi's commander the same person?" Hua Qidao frowned and said lightly, "I do not know." Feng Yexing said coldly, "The Tianji army is indeed becoming more and more useless. They know nothing. There is no guarantee of the safety of the imperial city. Who knows, something might happen to the imperial court one day." "Your Highness, you worry too much." Feng Yexing said slowly. Everyone saw this. "Li Yi, I have no intention of arguing with you. Let me ask you, did the commander of your residence really disappear?" Li Yi's expression was ugly. "Of course it's true. A god general might be able to make a commander disappear without a trace, but the safest is still a god realm powerhouse." Feng Yexing said calmly, "There are not many god realm powerhouses in the imperial city. Apart from the Tianji army, there are some. General Hua, was it done by someone from the Tianji army?" Hua Qidao said coldly, "Impossible. Then there are only a handful of god realm powerhouses left. Now, apart from the Tianji army, there are 3 god realm powerhouses." In the crowd, Zhao Xingwu said lightly, "Your Highness Feng, there is no need to count me in. I have people watching me." The moment he said that, the expressions of Hua Qidao and the others changed. Zhao Xingwu burst out laughing. He didn't care at all and continued, "When I enter the 20-mile range of the imperial dynasty, there will be many people staring at me. You have to be careful that I might suddenly go on a rampage and kill someone important. So don't count me in." Feng Yexing was not surprised. Zhao Xingwu was an outsider and a top-notch powerhouse, so it was necessary to watch him. Otherwise, if this fellow went berserk, he might even kill the Lord King. Feng Yexing said with a smile. Yexing naturally does not suspect General Zhao. Apart from General Zhao, there are also Divine General Xiantong and Divine General Ji Nan here. The two of them are also God realm powerhouses. Coincidentally, the disappearance of the commanders in Li An's residence happened when the two of them came to the imperial city. It is the same today. Ordinary supremacies will definitely not hide it from the divine generals when they attack Kuei Ming. General Zhao, did you feel anything strange today? Zhao Xingwu said lazily, "I don't care about these things." In the crowd, A middle-aged man beside Ji Yao said coldly. What do you mean, Your Highness Feng? Feng Yeshing said with a smile. I have no intention of suspecting divine General Ji Nan. As he said that, Feng Yeshing suddenly looked at Xiantong and said with a livid expression, but it is hard to say for divine General Xiantong. Humph! Xuantong's expression was extremely ugly as he said in a low voice, Feng Yeshing, you have to think before you speak. Feng Yeshing sneered. Of course I will think. Don't think that I don't know anything. Since Mystic Jade True Monarch has fallen, the Xian family has always hated the palace and Feng Mansion. In the crowd, Xian Jun suppressed his anger and said in a low voice, Feng Yeshing, I will not hide my dissatisfaction with you. But Li Yi and I have no enmity. Feng Yeshing sneered. All right, stop pretending. There are some things that you really don't know. Mystic Jade True Monarch's fall has nothing to do with my imperial ancestor. Anyone with a brain would know that it is impossible. I can't wait for Feng Ping to die immediately. Moreover, the previous incident was also instigated by imperial ancestor. It failed. Feng Ping did not die. Mystic Jade True Monarch fell. Imperial ancestor was blamed by the other true monarchs. What good does it do for Feng Mansion? It can be said that Feng Mansion hoped more than anyone else that the last time would be successful, that they could kill Feng Ping and destroy the land of rebirth. Do you really not know about these things? Of course, you know clearly who did what happened to Mystic Jade True Monarch. If I can understand it, then so can you. Do you really not know? Li Yi's act has already spread. Do you really not know? If that is the case, Feng Yeshing. Li Yi's face was cold, her expression extremely ugly. Feng Yeshing sneered. I won't bear this kind of trouble for others. If Xian Jun wants revenge, if Destiny Royal Court wants to cause trouble, then it has nothing to do with me or Feng Mansion. Li Yi, you know very well who did the disappearance of a few chieftains in your mansion. If it was me, even if I can't deal with you, Li Yi, killing a few of your chieftains is not a bad idea. Then, killing Ke Ming in my mansion will make Feng Mansion and the Tianji army more hostile towards you, Li Yi. This will only benefit some people. Feng Yeshing's intelligence was currently off the charts. He grinned. While you're at it, you can watch us make a fool of ourselves in front of Ji Yao. Ji Yao, although we don't see eye to eye, I still want to ask you something today. Xianjin must have said a lot about Li Yi and me being useless, right? Ji Yao harumphed and said nothing. She glanced at Xianjun and frowned slightly. That was true. Xianjun's expression was extremely ugly. Beside him, Xiantong suddenly laughed. Your Highness's analysis is very good, but this is all just a one-sided story. Are you saying that I killed Kuei Ming? Killed the chieftains in Li Yi's mansion? What a joke. When I entered Tianji City, I was also being watched. As soon as he said this, Zhao Xingwu sneered. Are you talking about when the people in Li Yi's mansion disappeared? Or are you talking about today? Coincidentally, I was near the imperial court these few times. Everyone was watching me. Where would I have the time to watch you? When he said this, Xiantong's expression stiffened. Hua Chidao and the rest also stiffened. He was right. Zhao Xingwu was right. Those few times, Zhao Xingwu had indeed been loitering around the imperial court. When he did that, the powerhouses near the imperial court had been watching him. No one really cared about Xiantong. Compared to Xiantong, a powerhouse like Zhao Xingwu was more worthy of attention. They stiffened. Feng Ping cursed in his heart. What was Zhao Xingwu trying to do? Could it be that he was nearby all those times? As expected, he had been suspected. Fortunately, he had changed his identity. Otherwise, Xiantong might have guessed his identity. However, Zhao Xingwu had done a good job. This way, no one was watching Xiantong. Hua Qidao glanced at Xiantong and did not say anything. It was just a suspicion. There was no evidence. As the envoy of Destiny Royal Court, the Royal Court would not do anything to a Divine Path powerhouse just because of a suspicion. That would cause the other party to be extremely displeased. Feng Yeshing did not pursue this matter anymore. He sneered. All right, things are more or less clear now. Kuei Ming's dead. That's good too. At least I know that someone is secretly plotting against the Feng Mansion. Kuei Ming's death is good. A general is dead. It's enough that I know some things. Xianjun's face was ashen. he said angrily. Feng Mieshing, how dare you slander me? Slander you? Feng Mieshing sneered. You think you're worthy? To put it bluntly, you don't have the right now. Your Xian family wants to keep your current position and wants to capture Ji Yao. Do you think everyone is blind? But if Ji Yao marries me or Li Yi, seeing that Ji Yao was about to lose her temper, Feng Mieshing said impatiently, don't interrupt. Idiot, you've been plotted against, and you don't even know it. Every time, it's you who spoils everything. Time and time again. If it weren't for you, I would have killed Feng Ping long ago. Why would I wait until now? Feng Mieshing scolded. He continued, Xian Jun wants to gain your sympathy. It's inevitable that he wants to marry into the Ji family. Everyone can see it. You're the only one who doesn't. Li Yi and I are his biggest opponents. Xian Jun doesn't dare to attack me and Li Yi, so he can only play some tricks. What a joke. Feng Mieshing sneered again. He turned and left. As he walked, he said, Kuei Ming is dead. There's no need to investigate anymore. But the Tianji army Feng Mieshing was extremely satisfied. Kuei Ming's death made the Tianji army a target for everyone again. Xian Jun's true colors were exposed. Kuei Ming was really his lucky star. Previously, Kuei Ming had exposed Li Yi. Now, he had dug out Xian Jun and dealt a blow to the Tianji army. Feng Mieshing realized that ever since Kuei Ming had sided with him, he had been helping him until his death, helping him gain the upper hand. As for whether it was Xian Jun who did it, it was not important. He wanted others to think that it was Xian Jun. That was enough. Feng Mieshing was extremely dissatisfied with Xian Jun spending so much time with Ji Yao. If this went on, would Ji Yao still have a chance? Now Ji Yao, that idiot, would probably not trust Xian Jun anymore. Killing two birds with one stone. Feng Mieshing laughed loudly and left arrogantly. Good news! Kuei Ming's death was really a good thing. In the crowd, Xian Jun's expression was ugly. Xian Tong said softly, This has nothing to do with me or Xian Jun. The Xian family has many things to do now. They won't cause unnecessary trouble by doing such trivial things. Hua Qidao said lightly, I also believe that this has nothing to do with divine General Xian Tong. As he said that, Hua Qidao snorted coldly and quickly left with the Tianji army. Whether it was the Xian family or not, it was best to throw it to the Xian family. Everyone could accept letting the Xian family be the scapegoat. Those princes could not be the scapegoat. Ji Yao could not either. She had a noble status. The Tianji army was even worse. The Lord could not afford such a loss. After thinking about it, they could either throw it to Zhao Xingwu or the Xian family. After all, they were outsiders. But Zhao Xingwu had always been watched. Throwing it to him would mean that all the experts in the city were trash. Letting Zhao Xingwu kill someone under their noses would be too much of a waste. In the end, Hua Qidao suddenly realized that throwing it to the Xian family was the best option. Mystic Jade Monarch had fallen anyway. Moreover, there was a lot of commotion now. The Xian family said that they wanted to hold the royal court accountable. Now that the Xian family was the scapegoat, would they still have the face to hold them accountable? It was rare for Hua Qidao and Feng Mieshing to agree. They should be thrown to the Xian family, whether it was true or not. After Hua Qidao left, the others also dispersed. Zhao Xingwu smiled coldly and slowly left. He was puzzled. Had they really made a mistake? After they left, Ji Yao looked at Xian Jun. Xian Jun was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He hurriedly said, Ji Yao, this matter is not as they say. Ji Yao said coldly, I know. Whether it is or not, it is not true. All of you are the pillars of Destiny Royal Court. How can you allow others to slander you? This matter has nothing to do with Destiny Royal Court. In other words, she only believed in Destiny Royal Court. Whether it was true or not, Destiny Royal Court would not admit to it. Xian Jun's eyes flashed with anger as he said in a low voice, This was not done by me, nor by Uncle Royal. Feng Mieshing deliberately framed me. As for Wang Zu's death, Xian Jun's expression became uglier. Feng Mieshing's words were all false. He could not be bothered with him. Although Feng Mieshing did not mention names, his words were very clear. Wang Zu's death was really a result of someone's scheme. Jia did not care whether it was Xian Jun's doing or not. Her eyes were cold as she said, "Don't worry, Grandpa Xian Yu's death will not be taken lightly. But I'm warning you, Xian Jun, do not act recklessly. Killing a few small fries won't help the situation at all." Xian Jun was so angry that he was about to explode. "Do you really think I did it?" Beside her, Xian Tong frowned. "Ji Yao, the people in Li An's residence disappeared. I was with Jinan at that time." Beside him, God General Jinan smiled but did not say anything. It was the middle of the night. Who would be with Xian Tong? However, Xian Tong's aura was still there. He could sense it. However, powerhouses like them, even if they lived nearby, would not deliberately sense each other's presence. It was a taboo. If they left quickly and set up a mentality barrier, it would be difficult for them to be discovered quickly. If Zhao Xingwu did not attract attention, Xian Tong might be noticed. However, since Zhao Xingwu was nearby, it was very likely that everyone was watching him and did not pay attention to Xian Tong. Seeing that, Xian Tong did not say anything. He was extremely annoyed. Why did it become the Xian family's problem out of nowhere? Before he came, he had repeatedly reminded Xian Jun to keep a low profile, to endure, and to lie low. Why would they cause more trouble at this time? Someone was plotting against them. Damn it! Chaos, chaos! At this moment, Fong Ping was gloating as he followed Feng Yixing back. "You suspect me. I suspect you." Was this not what he wanted to see when he entered the catacombs? With the current situation, even if he revealed that he was Fong Ping suspected that these fellows might not believe him. They might even think that someone was fishing in troubled waters. Needless to say, the possibility was very high. These fellows in the catacombs were quite smart. They liked to overthink. Even if they did not like to overthink, it was because it was not worth it. How many fools were there to be able to cultivate to this level? However, the less stupid one was, the easier it was to take the bait. As they walked, Feng Yixing said, "I'm not sure if Xian Tong did it. However, Prince Feng's mansion is indeed not safe enough. These people have muddled the waters. It's hard to see the truth. Fengzhe and I will go to Uncle Godless Mansion. Fenghua, you and Fengyu should be careful. Don't act rashly." "I understand." Both of them responded hurriedly. Feng Yixing did not say anything else and left quickly. Once he left, Fong Ping heaved a sigh of relief. He smiled. "Sir, I'm relieved that His Highness has gone to Lord Lu's mansion. I'm still worried that there are no divine generals in the mansion." Fenghua said as they walked, "That's true. However, you and I have to be careful. Recently, there are many powerhouses in the Imperial City. Someone wants to do something in the dark. Without a divine general in Prince Feng's mansion, it's very dangerous. As for True King Hall, I wonder if Lord Feng Qi will let Divine General Feng Qi return. Divine General Feng Qi still has to listen to Lord Feng Qi's summons. He might not be able to come to Prince Feng's mansion." "That's true." Fenghua sighed. He lamented again. "It's all because of that bastard Fong Ping." During the trip to the 17 southern regions, a few divine generals from 9 cities died. Sigh. "That bastard. I'll kill him sooner or later." Fong Ping's expression was ferocious. He glared at Fenghua. "You're dead. You're definitely dead. Those who scold my people in front of me will not have a good ending. After I kill you, I'll be in charge of Prince Feng's mansion. If you die, Feng Yixing will never dare to return to the manor. As a direct descendant, it's time for me to take over." Both of them returned to the mansion. There were still a few chieftains in the mansion. However, these people had always been stationed in Prince Feng's mansion. They were not as close as Feng Yu and Feng Yixing. Naturally, their status was not as high as Feng Yu's. As the strongest powerhouse in the mansion, Fenghua did not care about these things once he returned. He went back to his own mansion, minding his own business. As for Fong Ping, he began to arrange for the chieftains to lead a patrol team. Prince Feng's mansion was tightly guarded. For a moment, the atmosphere in the mansion was tense. Fong Ping also issued orders continuously. He wanted the mansion to be tightly guarded. Without his and Fenghua's orders, all powerhouses were not allowed to take a step out of the mansion. Feng Hua was quite satisfied with Fong Ping's arrangements. After a brief inspection, he no longer cared about these matters. As for Fong Ping, after he was done with the arrangements, he entered the underground mineral vein. Kuei Ming did not have the right to enter, but Feng Yu did. Fong Ping felt that it did not matter whether he dug or not. It was a huge mine after all. It was rare to have a chance to look at it openly. When he went underground and saw the mineral vein, Fong Ping instantly felt extremely regretful. What a pity. Such a huge mine, even bigger than the outer regions. He could only look at it and not take it. What a pity. Please remember this book's domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 744. In the underground mineral vein. The Maple Mansion's mineral vein was not irregular. Instead, it was a regular strip that extended toward the depths of the palace. However, the further it went, the thinner it became. The source was indeed the palace. The mineral veins in the imperial city originated from the palace, guarded by true King Tianyu. However, true King Tianyu did not attach mentality to the mansion's mineral vein. This was also a form of respect for the true king. The other mineral veins were attached with some true king mentality. It's hard to even blow up the mine. Fong Ping looked for a while and shook his head again. The Maple Mansion's mineral vein was solidified by the true king. The energy could flow, but it was difficult for it to leak on a large scale. If it did not leak, then it would be difficult to blow up the mine. That's true. It's an imperial city after all. The energy is too dense. If a powerhouse ignites the energy, it will cause an explosion. I know this. There's no reason the powerhouses in the imperial city don't know this. These guys won't let themselves live on top of the explosives. 99 of them exploding together can easily kill a rank 9. If the energy doesn't leak on a large scale, naturally it won't explode. Fong Ping felt that it was a pity. Otherwise, if all 99 mineral veins were together, this explosion would destroy the entire Sky Plant City. He did not know how many martial artists would be killed. A few million would be considered a small number. Fong Ping knocked on the wall next to him. Not all walls were energy stones. This was a passageway in the giant mine. The underground cultivation room was actually surrounded by the giant mine. The true king solidified it slightly. The true king would not expend a lot of mentality to do this. No one dared to take it if it was left here. If a pit appeared after digging a piece, it would be big trouble if someone found out. Moreover, it was difficult for non-commander level martial artists to enter this place. Commander level powerhouses all had their own goals. How many energy stones could they take away without a storage ring when they dug? Because of this, there had never been a case of a giant mine being dug up in the imperial residence in so many years. I'll leave the mine here first. It'll be dug up sooner or later. I should think about what to do next. Now that Feng Hua is still alive, it's not convenient for me to come and go. I just framed Xiantong. Now everyone is watching him. If I make a move, it'll give Xiantong a chance to clear his name. But then again, I'm not trying to frame Xiantong. I'm just making the situation more chaotic. Fong Ping subconsciously wanted to rub his chin, but quickly gave up. Maple did not like this action. There are too many experts in this damn place. If we were in the outer domain with just 2 rank 9s, I could stir up chaos in the outer domain. Right now, there are people keeping an eye on all the great dukes' residences and important residences. The Tianji army has been mobilized in large numbers, and there are many divine generals. Fong Ping deliberated again and again. After a long time, he made a decision. I'm not going to the prince's mansion and those places anymore. Heavenly Plant City was so big. He should be making some money by cutting grass and hunting rabbits. There were many shops in Sky Plant City, and high-rank powerhouses were not cabbages that could be found everywhere. He would go and do a few things first to muddy the waters. The imperial city was huge and had a large population. How could there be no bad guys? If he set an example first, a bunch of bad people might soon appear. Fong Ping waited for the sky to turn dark. He started making some arrangements so that he could leave the house without being discovered. Right now, he was the chief steward of the Feng Palace. That fellow Feng Hua didn't care about anything. The house was strictly patrolled, but Fong Ping knew that there was a gap. As long as he left the house now and no one came looking for him, there would not be a problem. Maybe I should dig a tunnel under the Fong Palace. It'll be easier to get in and out. Fong Ping had not done this for a long time, but now he thought of digging a tunnel. The Fong Palace was heavily guarded now. It was almost the same at night as it was during the day. If he was not careful, he could still be discovered easily. It won't be a big problem if I dig a little deeper. By the time I'm discovered, I'll have already run out of the catacombs. Fong Ping started working as soon as he thought of it. Not many people dared to barge into his compound. Fong Ping knew the distribution of the mineral veins, but he did not dig toward the mineral veins. Digging a tunnel in the true king's mansion was the easiest. The other places were all distributed by the true king's mentality. As Fong Ping dug the tunnel, he pondered, which shop should he rob? Those that were too strong would not do, and those that had too little stuff would not do either. He had to find some shops that were not too strong to rob. It would also make people scratching their heads. It's better if it's a mess. While Fong Ping was digging the tunnel, in the imperial palace, Hua Qidao's face was gloomy as he said in a deep voice, "My king, the thief comes and goes without a trace. He might not be Xiantong. Right now Tianji City is in chaos. Everyone is in danger. King, if this continues, the Tianji army will lose face. Not just the left division, but the other two divisions will also have problems." King Lord did not panic. He leaned on the throne and said with a faint smile, "There's no rush. There's no need to panic. Would the imperial court fall into chaos because of such a small problem?" King Lord said as he lightly knocked on the throne, "The thief doesn't dare to show himself. And it just so happens that the Sky Elm Guardian is condensing the holy fruit for the next 2 days, so it can't be distracted. The thief probably knows that the Sky Elm Guardian won't be patrolling for the next 2 days, which is why he dares to act so brazenly. There's always a reason for the chaos. Why did you create chaos in Sky Plant City? Look for opportunities in the chaos. What kind of opportunity does he want? Kill a few captains from an Er's residence and a general from Prince Feng's residence? That's not their goal." Wang Zhu pondered for a moment and said, "Actually, there are only 3 parties who will create chaos. True King Manor, Destiny Royal Court, and you and I. Of course, you and I wouldn't do such things. If it's not the other True King Manors, then it's people from Destiny Royal Court. What are the other True King Manors' goal?" King Lord murmured, "It can't be to cause chaos in the majestic court. The True King Manor's goal is only the position of King Lord. If there's chaos, this king and the Sky Plan army will be questioned. But that's not enough. They won't dare to kill me, because the Sky Elm Guardian is still here. If they don't dare to kill me, then how will they mess things up? And Thinking of this, King Lord said in a low voice, "Send someone to inform the right divine general and have him secretly go to an Er's residence. If they're from the True King Manors, they might attack an King, they're that bold? We have to be on guard." King Lord said, then added, "If they're not from the True King Manors, but from Destiny Royal Court, what's their goal? To have us fight amongst ourselves? Fighting amongst ourselves? An is in danger, and so are the crown princes like Feng Yexing. Have the Sky Plan army increase their protection. These people can't die, at least not in the imperial city." Hua Qidao thought for a moment, then said, "King, if they're not from the True King Manors or Destiny Royal Court, could there be others?" "Others?" King Lord's eyes flickered, then said, "Have someone keep an eye on Zhao Xingwu." Then he thought for a moment, then added, "Zhao Xingwu might not want the 2 majestic courts to be peaceful. Although there are people watching him, it's not enough. Qidao, go watch him personally. It doesn't matter if he's discovered." Qidao understands. King Lord suddenly said, "He comes and goes without a trace, and the key is that he's mysterious. It's hard to find him. If that's the case, Qidao, how many sky canopies are there now?" 16 pieces. Go and make arrangements. Set up sky canopies in some of the important places. Have the Sky Plan army's trustworthy people keep an eye on the sky canopies. This king wants to see if he can really go up and down without a trace." Hua Qidao's expression changed slightly, saying hurriedly, "King, monitoring the true king manners will easily cause disputes. Also, there's a limited number of sky canopies. They were set up to deal with the land of rebirth. Now that they're being used in the imperial city, once they're moved, it'll easily cause damage." King Lord said lightly, "Don't worry about it. After the holy fruit feast ends, they'll naturally be withdrawn. The sky canopies were created by the true king. It's hard to detect unless you're a true king. This king also wants to see who's creating all of this. As for the land of rebirth, the sky canopies might not be useful. Do some experiments first. If it's really effective, then let the true king palace provide some." Qidao understands. Hua Qidao said no more. Very quickly, he left to make arrangements. King Lord leaned on his throne, smiling. "Good at hiding, huh? If that was the case, then let's give it a try. Let's see how long they can hide, unless they don't move." However, after 2 days, the Heavenly Elm Guardian will no longer be distracted. When that time comes, the other party might not dare to move anymore. Royal residence of Foam. Fong Ping had already dug the tunnel. This time, he dug it very deep. The exit was at the foot of a wall near Prince Feng's mansion. There was no one there. I still have to pick up my old profession. I can't forget it. Once the sky turns dark, I'll go out and snatch one. At the same time, I'll see if there's a chance to teach Xianjin a lesson. Fong Ping calculated in his heart. He began to set up the mentality barrier inside the house. A rank 7 mentality barrier would dissipate in no time once it left its owner. However, it could still be maintained for a period of time. During this period, as long as Fong Ping returned, no one would notice that he had left. However, if someone came looking for him, it would be a little troublesome. If there's nothing going on in Royal Residence of Foam, most people won't come looking for me. However, I can't not be on guard. When I return, I'll be careful. If I'm really discovered, I'll run first and change to another identity. Fong Ping calculated for a while and made a decision. He did not want to be surrounded. When he returned, he would conceal his aura and investigate carefully before returning to the royal residence. As he waited, the sky turned dark very quickly. Even at night, Sky Botanic City was still brightly lit. However, it was night after all. It was impossible for everything to be as bright as day. In the darkness, Fong Ping's head popped out, and he quickly squeezed out from the sewer. At this moment, Fong Ping's appearance had changed, and his aura was restrained. He was only a rank 4, and he was exceptionally low-key. Walking out of the darkness, there were many people on the streets. Even at night, there were still many people in Sky Plant City. Fong Ping walked in the direction where there were fewer people. If he wanted to rob someone, it was better to rob somewhere with fewer people. Just as Fong Ping was walking toward a less crowded area, Sky Plant Army headquarters, a group of people stared at the 16 giant screens. Feng Manor was not one of them, because Feng Yexing wasn't there. He was with the Vice Hall Master of the Tribute Hall. At this moment, the huge screen was aimed at Lu Wushan's manor. The places where Lu Wushan, Zhao Xingwu, and Ji Yao were staying, as well as Li Yi's mansion and the mansions of other crown princes, were all displayed on the big screen. In the underground hall, someone laughed and said, "The sky curtain is indeed useful. Those below the true monarch realm can't detect it and have nowhere to hide. As long as the thief appears in the sky screen, he won't be able to hide." In the crowd, Divine General Li said coldly, "Watch closely. Everyone's every move in these mansions was observed, and observed clearly. If anyone is scouting around the mansions, keep a close eye on them too. Hide in the Imperial City and catch this guy sooner or later." Everyone agreed. A group of powerhouses stared at the screen. No one could escape their sight. While the Skyplan army was staring at the screen, Fong Ping did not know that there was a surveillance system in the royal court. From Fong Ping's perspective, the people in the royal court were all powerhouses. These powerhouses were more used to using mentality to scout. This was much more convenient than any surveillance system. At this moment, Fong Ping had already arrived at a small shop. There were not many people at night, much less than during the day. In the shop, other than the employees, there were only 2 customers. Fong Ping glanced at it. The things sold in the shop were not anything good. Of course, that was relatively speaking. The shop mainly sold some energy fruits, which were more targeted at the three lower ranks. Martial artists in the three lower ranks were not very common in the Imperial City. Fong Ping could only say that the other party had failed to locate them. In the Imperial City, they should sell things that middle-ranked martial artists needed. However, those things cost a lot. Without capital, they probably could not open them. Fong Ping was not picky. It was good that there were fewer people. He also wanted the resources that were useful in the three lower ranks. It was not a bad idea to rob them without knowing his true intentions. Selling the resources that rank 3 martial artists needed. Naturally, there were no powerhouses in the shop. High ranks were not cabbages either. In the entire shop, there was only one rank for martial artist in charge. Fong Ping did not delay. He released his mentality instantly and killed these fellows with a shock. Very quickly, he collected all the energy fruits and corpses into his bag and closed the shop door. At this moment, he had already transformed into the rank for in charge. He closed the shop door and left. The few passers-by outside did not care. It was normal that the shop was closing. It was late at night. Not every shop would be open. Walking on the Crystal Avenue, Fong Ping looked happy. Although the shop was not big, the things were still quite valuable. It actually increased his wealth by 3 million points. That meant that these energy fruits were worth 30 billion. It was just a small shop. It was worth a lot. I'm almost at 400 million wealth. At this rate, it's enough to rob 200 small shops. Skyplant City was incomparably huge. There were tens of thousands of shops. If he robbed 200 shops and cleaned them up properly, he might not be noticed. Of course, once he attracted attention, people would quickly notice that something was wrong. Let's go this way. I'll go take a look at Wanting Tower. That Xianjin guy doesn't go out. It'll be very difficult to kill him. Fong Ping felt a little helpless. Things changed quickly. Xianjin guy did not leave. How could he kill his imposter? Along the way, Fong Ping came across shops with fewer people. He would go in and take a look. If the situation allowed it, he would kill the other party directly, hide the corpse, and close the shop. When he was about to reach Wanting Tower, Fong Ping entered another shop and killed a few people again. He robbed the items and was about to close the shop and leave when he suddenly froze. Why didn't my wealth increase? Fong Ping was instantly on guard. Danger. There was only one situation where his wealth did not increase. He was in danger. This time, Fong Ping did not close the door and left. He went straight into the shop and closed the door from the inside. His expression changed slightly. What was going on? Where was the danger coming from? He had scouted the surroundings. No one could pose a threat to him. Even origin powerhouses could not hide from him. Unless a true king was patrolling nearby. True King Tian, you has come out of closed-door cultivation? Fong Ping's heart was pounding. Did he not say that he was bearing fruit? Why did he come out of closed-door cultivation? And he happened to be investigating here, just when Fong Ping sensed danger. Skyplan Army HQ, someone said lazily. There's nothing strange about Wanting Tower, but there seems to be something wrong with the shop near Wanting Tower. A customer clearly went in just now, but the manager closed the door. Could it be that he's trying to kill us for money? Someone laughed and said, who cares? There are many people who do this in the city. There are a few shops that are rigged. It's common for outsiders to go in and not come out, but it's usually people from the outer city. People from the Imperial City wouldn't dare to mess around. Let's go take a look, just in case there's a problem. Maybe they're discussing other business. Although they were talking very soon, someone went out and instructed to go take a look. After all, if there was any trouble near Wanting Tower, they would be laughed at by the Destiny Royal Court. At this moment, Fong Ping was extremely uneasy. What's going on? Is it a true king powerhouse? But if it's a true king patrolling, I would have been discovered just now. Where's the danger coming from? Fong Ping's head hurt. What was going on? Could it be that there was a system malfunction? Or could it be that the 2 god generals in the nearby Wanting Tower had ill intentions towards him? It could not be, right? Fong Ping's ability was also extremely strong. Unless the 2 god generals had their eyes on him and had ill intentions towards him, otherwise, other people were not considered a threat to Fong Ping. It shouldn't be. If the two god generals really had their eyes on me, I can detect them with my rank 9 mentality probing. If it's not a true king, not a god general, then who is it? Could it be that someone is watching me in the dark? It can't be Zhao Xingwu, right? It can't be, right? Then why is my wealth not increasing? Someone must have their eyes on me. I can't detect mentality. Could it be that they can observe me from a distance without using mentality? Fong Ping ridiculed in his heart. Everything was fine before. His wealth increased by a sum of looting. Why was there a problem now? Fong Ping racked his brains. After a long time, he seemed to have thought of something. He muttered in his heart, "Did I forget something?" That day in Qingyang Royal City, those powerhouses were probing us in Future Square. But later, when these powerhouses were recruiting, they sent people straight to some people without hesitation. Li Yi also said that day, Huayu had taken a liking to him, but he had not come into contact with Huayu at all. He didn't see it. If he really saw it, Huayu wouldn't be able to hide it from him. Some things that he did not pay attention to before now surfaced in Fong Ping's mind. Maybe they can really observe me from a distance. Fong Ping's heart stirred. It couldn't be, right? The catacombs had this kind of technology? Very soon, Fong Ping sensed something strange. Outside, there was a team of Sky Plan Army patrolling in his direction. Looking at their posture, it was obvious that they were heading straight for him. A war general is leading the team, not a powerhouse. It seems like they didn't notice that I'm different, but they're heading straight for this shop. That means that they've noticed something strange and specially came to check. The other party can monitor the situation nearby. Fong Ping was greatly shocked. If that was the case, then he would be in big trouble. Previously, when he went to Li Yi's mansion, although he changed his appearance, once there was a surveillance system, someone might have already discovered him. He collected the two chieftains' corpses, restrained his aura, and ran all the way back to Feng Mansion. Doesn't that mean that I've been exposed long ago? No. If that's the case, the royal court would have attacked me long ago. Previously, when I robbed the shop, there was no abnormality. My wealth still increased. This means that even if there's a surveillance system, it's not spread all over the city, but in some specific areas. There's a surveillance system near Wan Ting Tower. Fong Ping thought of many things. The catacombs actually had this thing. This was not a small matter. If this thing appeared on a large scale, how could he carry out surprise attacks in the future? How could he carry out robberies? Alright, these were not important. What was important was that if this thing appeared in the outer realm, if it could be set up on a large scale, every move of humans would be under the other party's surveillance. It was impossible for human powerhouses to stay in the city forever. Once they left the city, their whereabouts would be discovered. If a rank 7 martial artist went out to search for fortuitous encounters and was found out by the other party, it would be dangerous if the other party sent 3 to 5 rank 7s to intercept and kill him on the way. The distance between human cities and catacomb cities was generally quite far, unless the powerhouse deliberately revealed his chi. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the other party to detect any changes from so far away. Sometimes some rank 9 human overseeing would leave the catacombs, but not for too long. During this short interval, the other party would not know. However, if there was a surveillance system, the catacombs would definitely recognize rank 9 powerhouses. Once they left, the other party would take advantage of this moment to launch a surprise attack. That would be even more troublesome. Is it troublesome to set up this setup? Are there any conditions? If it can be set up at will, the catacomb cities will often be raided. If they can just throw a device and monitor them, then humans will be in big trouble. Fong Ping thought of many things, but his feet did not delay. The shop had a back door. Fong Ping left directly from the back door. However, his wealth still did not increase. This meant that this side was also under surveillance. Fong Ping did not stop. His speed was extremely fast. Very soon, he walked in the opposite direction of Wan Ting Tower, blending into the crowd. After blending into the crowd, Fong Ping continued to speed up, leaving Wan Ting Tower. Halfway there, Fong Ping found a deserted place, changed his clothes, changed his appearance, and once again blended into the crowd. At this moment, his wealth only increased. This meant that he was out of danger. At this moment, Fong Ping also sensed the danger. At the shop he left, there were currently a few powerhouses auras descending in an instant. 3 god generals. No, for Fong Ping was shocked. As expected, his abnormality had been discovered. For god generals had arrived. If not for the system not increasing his wealth, which aroused his suspicion, he would have been screwed this time. I was too careless. I underestimated the intelligence of the catacombs martial artists. These people actually built surveillance cameras. Not only surveillance, but I also can detect it. This at least has some special rank. 9 means. This is very important. I have to tell Old Zhang when I go back. Old Zhang can't do it. The catacombs have already been created, yet humans don't have this. This is too embarrassing. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Old Zhang was too useless. Although this had nothing to do with Old Zhang, he had almost been caught in a trap. Old Zhang had to bear this responsibility. This is a little troublesome. There are surveillance cameras. Does the royal residence have surveillance cameras? Didn't they say that the royal residence is invincible? Fong Ping complained in his heart. Very quickly, he remembered that this had not happened before. This meant that the surveillance cameras might have been installed recently. The Sky Plant's army's god generals have been mobilized. This means that the Sky Plant's army did this. Was it the Royal Lord's order? Is it only in Wanting Tower, or are there other places as well? The Royal Lord is monitoring the royal residence. If this gets out, will it cause a big commotion? Fong Ping had another plan in his heart. This was getting interesting. As for the surveillance cameras, Fong Extermination and the others probably knew that there were surveillance equipment. They might have used it in Qingyang Royal City. Even if they had used it before, it did not mean that they knew they were being monitored. The Royal Lord monitoring the royal residence. These people would probably not be happy about it, would they? There's no harm in trying. Maybe there will be some surprises. Fong Ping was secretly happy. This was a good thing. No powerhouse would be willing to be monitored all the time. The Royal Lord might have done it recently, but it did not mean that those powerhouses would think so. There's going to be a good show. Fong Ping was much more careful this time. He purposely robbed a small shop on his way to see if his wealth had increased. If it did not, it meant that danger was nearby. When he was near the royal residence, Fong Ping looted a small piece of life stone from a passerby. In the end, his wealth increased too. This meant that there was no danger near the royal residence. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly realized that he had neglected this function in the past. If his wealth increased near the royal residence, it also meant that he was not discovered by anyone inside. Otherwise, if there were powerhouses ready to surround and kill him, his wealth would not increase. I must be good at using the system's function. If I have time, I can go to the Lake of Life and try fishing some. If my wealth increases, it means that there's no danger. If it doesn't increase, it means that there's more danger. That's right, the same goes for the underground mineral vein. I can go to other places and try digging some, but it's quite dangerous. If I'm discovered, it'll be troublesome. Fong Ping realized that he had unlocked a new function of the system. Although he knew about this in the past, he did not pay much attention to it. At most, he would do some early warning, but he rarely did it. This time, he managed to escape a calamity. When I ambush Ji Yao and the others, I can actually try it in advance. I don't have to share it with others now. If I get it, it'll be my own. If there's danger, then my wealth won't increase. As Fong Ping thought about this, he entered the royal residence through the underground passageway. As for the chaos at Wanting Tower, he could not be bothered. These people only saw his fake face, so he did not have to worry about being discovered. However, if this was the case, people might start to make some connections. I have to leave as soon as possible. Perhaps people will soon guess that it's me who came here. If that's the case, the chance of causing chaos in the catacombs is not high. Then, the main mission now is to kill a group of people and rob a large sum of money. Fong Ping suddenly breathed a sigh of relief. This was good too. It was very tiring for him to stay here alone, calculating how to make the two big houses go against each other. Moreover, the probability of success was very small. He would be exposed sooner or later. Once he was exposed, everything he did now would not be of much use. All right, My goal is clear. Kill a group of important people, rob a bunch of money, bring back some information, and maybe cause some trouble. That's enough. Fong Ping set the tone and suddenly felt relaxed. He was not suited to be a spy. He was more suited to be a bandit. No wonder before he came in, Old Zhang's attitude was that it was enough as long as he could get some information back. Old Zhang did not expect him to do anything big at all. The probability of Fong Ping creating a rift between the two big houses was not high. If Ji Yao and the others were really dead, they would definitely investigate it thoroughly. He might not be able to hide it from the two big houses. No, it should be almost impossible to hide it. Forget it. Even if they know I did it, Ji Yao and the others died in Sky Plant City. That's big trouble. Maple Prince and the others are not on good terms with the Lord's faction. When the time comes, they will definitely hit each other when they're down. Maybe they will push out one side as the scapegoat. It depends on who can out-scheme who, or maybe it depends on strength. This old guy, the Lord, might not be as weak as he appears. Maybe he still has some trump cards. Even if he doesn't, he can still scheme against an immortal king powerhouse. From the looks of it, maybe this time I can force the Lord to reveal some of his trump cards. Let Maple Prince and the others be more vigilant, lest they fall into the Lord's trap in the end. Fong Ping suddenly felt that Maple Prince should thank him. He was thinking for his sake, helping him find out some of the Lord's trump cards. This was a good thing. Please remember this book's original domain name. Chapter 745, Imperial Palace. In the main hall. Escaped? Wang Zhu murmured, slightly surprised. Hua Qidao said solemnly, Wang Zhu, something's not right. This subordinate has checked and found that 36 shops in the Imperial City that normally wouldn't be closed are all closed tonight. Not only are they closed, but everything in the shops has also disappeared. Not only that, but the people have also disappeared without a trace. As soon as he finished, Wang Zhu suddenly stood up and walked to a crystal mural at the side. He said, Show the sign of the closed shops. The mural was a huge map of the Imperial City. Hua Qidao's mental power fluctuated, and soon 36 red dots appeared on the mural. Interesting. Wang Zhu looked at the mural and said softly, What do you see? Hua Qidao looked for a while and said, A straight line. Starting from the southern gate of the inner city, it goes straight to Wan Ting Tower. Near the starting point, there is a regal mansion and 3 divine generals' mansions. Don't just look at this. Look more closely. Hua Qidao looked carefully and suddenly said, There's a slight deviation. 36 shops. The shop near Feng Mansion seems to be a little off. That's right. Wang Zhu said calmly. The other shops almost all came in a straight line, but the shop near Feng Mansion is too close. Wang Zhu murmured. Did they leave from Feng Mansion? That might not be the case. Given the thief's shrewdness, they would have deliberately avoided their own area. Could it be that they purposely targeted Feng Mansion? Hua Qidao said, Other than Feng Mansion, Huai Mansion at the starting point might also be a suspect. Wang Zhu said with a smile, Almost everyone in the southern part of the city belongs to Feng Mansion. The thief left from the southern part of the city and went straight to Wan Ting Tower. Wang Zhu sighed softly and asked, You said that the steward of the shop near Wan Ting Tower left before you arrived? Yes. You lost a level 5 martial artist? Yes. All the people in the shop are missing, dead, or alive. Yes. Wang Zhu said with a chuckle. It's the same as a nurse, dead or alive. This means that the thief has a storage item. A level 5 steward, is it really a steward? I'm sure the person who left is the manager. Hua Qidao was silent for a moment, then said, I can't be sure. At the venerable level, experts can change their appearance. At that time, there were no divine generals nearby, and the other party had concealed his aura, so we couldn't detect him. Concealing his aura. If the other party is a divine Dao expert, even if he conceals his aura, there are still 2 divine Dao experts in the Myriad Court Tower. At such a close distance, it's very easy to be detected. Did Wan Ting Tower make any unusual movements? Nothing unusual. Wan Ting Tower is not acting strangely. That means either they didn't notice or they are in cahoots. Wang Zhu said softly. Then he suddenly smiled and said, there's another possibility. The other party can really change his appearance and aura without being noticed. Qi Dao, do you feel a sense of familiarity? Change my appearance. Hua Qi Dao pondered for a moment. Suddenly, his eyes flickered, and he shook his head in disbelief. Even immortal generals can't detect a change in aura. This seems to be what Her Highness Ji Yao and Feng Yexing mentioned before. Feng Ping. Wang Zhu's face suddenly turned cold. Then he recovered his smile and said, familiar, right? Feng Ping. Back in the land of kings, Ji Yao and Feng Yexing both said that Feng Ping can change his aura. Back then, he pretended to be Ji Yao's subordinate. How is that possible? Hua Qi Dao was in disbelief. How could it be Feng Ping? Feng Ping was in the land of rebirth, and this was the core of Sky Plant's royal court, Sky Plant's city. There were true king-level powerhouses here, and there were many immortal generals' powerhouses here. Now, Wang Zhu actually said that Feng Ping from the land of rebirth might have entered the city. That couldn't be. Hua Qi Dao was stunned for a moment. Could Wang Zhu have guessed wrongly? Hua Qi Dao said hurriedly, Wang Zhu, we haven't met the other party. As long as the other party is a venerable, they have this ability. Wang Zhu smiled faintly. Yes, venerable martial artists do have this ability, but you have to know that there are countless powerhouses in the Imperial City. We might encounter immortal generals at any time. Wouldn't a venerable martial artist in disguise stand out more if he met immortal generals on the road? The Imperial City is bustling. Such a disguised venerable actually dares to walk on the Imperial Road. Isn't he afraid of being targeted? Since he has the guts, it means that he's confident that he won't be discovered. If it's not Feng Ping, then it's a top-notch immortal Dao powerhouse. But I think that the possibility of it being Feng Ping is higher. Wang Zhu, could it be someone else who also has the same ability as Feng Ping? Hua Qi Dao was still in disbelief. Passing through the Outland, Mount Royal Sea, passing through countless cities, and arriving at Sky Plant City was not something a resurrected martial artist could do. Not even a true king. Now, Wang Zhu said that a resurrected martial artist wanted by them might have come to the Imperial City. Hua Qi Dao only thought that it was a fantasy. Wang Zhu continued unhurriedly. If it's Feng Ping, how did he get in? Wang Zhu pondered for a moment and murmured, the Outland can only be entered through the Outland. Moreover, to reach Sky Plant City quickly, it's very difficult. Outland. Not long ago, and the rest went to the Outland to recruit genius martial artists and just happened to bring in a batch of Outland martial artists. If this opportunity is seized, then Feng Ping might sneak in. Go. Get the information on the Outland martial artists who entered the Imperial City recently. Also, the Imperial City has been busy recently. I think it happened after and the rest came back. Hua Qi Dao's expression changed slightly, but he said no more. As the left marshal of the Sky Plant's army, he was the protector of the Imperial City. These martial artists entering the city from the outside had to be recorded. Hua Qi Dao said no more and went straight out of the basilica. Very soon, Hua Qi Dao returned and said, most of the Outland geniuses recruited that day were killed by City Lord He of Qingyang Royal City. In the end, only Hua Yu, Ziyu, Feng Yexing, and Yang Sheng were left. They recruited a total of 140 Outland geniuses into the Imperial City. How many people are there in the Southern Territory? Hua Qi Dao took a look and said, there are a total of 32 people in the Southern Territory. How are they distributed? Feng Yexing has the most martial artists from the Southern Territory under his command. There are a total of 17 people. The other highnesses have 15 martial artists from the Southern Territory under their command. Feng Ping came from Sino Nation in the land of rebirth. Sino Nation is only connected to the Southern Territory. If Feng Ping wanted to enter, he would not have entered from other territories. Although this is possible, the possibility is very low. In that case, if Feng Ping impersonated a martial artist from the Southern Territory, he would be among these 32 people. Hua Qi Dao said suddenly, Kuei Ming is also a martial artist from the Southern Territory. Kuei Ming, Wang Zhu said softly. Kuei Ming, Fong Ping, 7th Southern Territory. MCMU, Kuei Ming is dead. The only martial artist from the Southern Territory who died in public. The only martial artist from the Southern Territory who died in public. Why did the others die quietly, but Kuei Ming died in front of everyone? The thief could even kill a commander-level martial artist without a sound. Could it be that he could not kill Kuei Ming without a sound? He's trying to cover up. Hua Qidao frowned. But when Kuei Ming died, I was there too. He was indeed someone from Godland. Idiot, Wang Zhu said lightly. Since he has a storage artifact, when he impersonated Kuei Ming, he killed Kuei Ming and kept his corpse. Naturally, the one who died was the real Kuei Ming. Hua Qidao's expression changed. His voice was slightly hoarse. Then he is not Kuei Ming now. Wang, did he change his appearance again? The possibility is very high. Wang Zhu walked around the basilica for a while. He looked at the map again and chuckled. Feng Mansion. Looks like it's not a trap. He should still be in Feng Mansion. Very gutsy, very greedy heart. He actually robbed and killed shops near Feng Mansion. That's right. Resurrected martial artists lacked resources. These resurrected martial artists could not hold back when they saw something good. Feng Yexing was not in Feng Mansion at the moment. The only one who was taken away was Feng Zhe. Feng Zhe was a peak venerable martial artist. It should not be him. Then who is Fong Ping? He entered the venerable realm not long ago. He should still be an early stage or middle stage venerable. Wang Zhu murmured, it's not that easy for him to kill a venerable commander stage martial artist. On the other hand, should not be too difficult for him to kill. I remember now. Someone from the outer domain reported that he had a materialized space made of imperishable substances. Catching a commander stage martial artist off guard, trapping a commander stage, restraining his aura, and killing the commander stage in the materialized space could indeed be done without anyone noticing. No wonder I could not find any traces of him. I see. Hua Qidao's expression changed. He said hurriedly, then I will lead the Tianji army to besiege Feng Mansion immediately. No. Wang Zhu pressed his hand lightly and shook his head. Feng Mansion cannot be barged in. Feng Mansion is already extremely dissatisfied with me. If we besiege Feng Mansion now, there will be trouble. Wang, Fong Ping has snuck into Feng Mansion. Are we just going to stand by and watch? Wang Zhu suddenly laughed. If Fong Ping has snuck into Feng Mansion, what is his goal? What does he want to do? What kind of mission does he want to accomplish in Godland this time? Hua Qidao frowned. After a long time, he said, spy on the royal court's intelligence, kill some important people, or simply incite a war between the two royal courts. Then who is his target? Fong Ping is only a venerable. His target can only be martial artists weaker than him. Feng Yexing, Li Yi, Ji Yao, and even the other highnesses could all be his targets. That's right. Wang Zhu laughed again. Summon back to the palace. Summon the divine generals in the imperial city for a meeting. Say that it is to investigate the thief. Also, summon Ji Yao here to discuss the matter between the two courts. Hua Qidao's expression changed drastically. Wang Zhu said lightly, give him a chance. Doesn't he want chaos? All right, I will grant his wish. The divine generals had all left and come to the palace. What should he do with so many descendants of the true kings in the imperial city? It was time to clean up these fellows. I am not dead yet, but they're already thinking of replacing me. If these people died, how should the true kings react? Should they attack the land of rebirth immediately? Or should they groom another heir of the Lord to replace me? Once the war started, everyone in the royal court was united. At this time, Wang Zhu had the highest chance of achieving true king level. Having one more true king was no small matter. Should he give up on this opportunity or continue waiting? Qidao, if it were you, what would you choose? Hua Qidao was silent for a moment, then said, wait. Right now, the true kings have not come to an agreement. Destiny Royal Court's attitude is still unclear. In order to fight for the greatest benefits for themselves, the true kings will continue to wait. Wait until all the passageways are open. When all the passageways are open, the true kings can do better and be safer. Moreover, they can groom another true king, a descendant of the same family, to become a true king. If the true kings are ruthless enough, they can kill the new true king. Since they are from the same family, they might be able to cross over to the second path. Perhaps this was the Maple King's motive. When the war started, those who did not achieve the second path would be in danger of dying. If they wanted to obtain the greatest benefits, they would have to achieve the second path. Only then could they compete with the Temple Masters and the Life Kings. That's why I feel that even if Feng Yesheng and the rest die, the true kings might endure it quietly and continue to lie low for a while. They are also determined to get the Lord's position. The Lord smiled faintly. However, it will take time to choose a new heir to the Lord's position, and what I lack is time. After saying that, the Lord laughed again. I can't do such a thing. Once I do, it will be the day of my death. Others can't do it either. If they do, it will all fall on my head. But someone can do it. A martial artist resurrected. A martial artist resurrected who is wanted. A martial artist resurrected who is unscrupulous and even came in through Feng Yesheng. If he does all this, it will have nothing to do with me. Lord! Hua Qidao looked worried. He said softly, Lord, if you summon all the god generals now, people will definitely suspect you. The Lord paced for a moment, then suddenly laughed. That's true. I'm a little impatient. Then summon some of the god generals. With so many major events happening in the imperial city, summoning the god generals to discuss matters is only natural. Also, if Fang Ping makes a move, the Sky Plant's military will surround and kill him immediately. Oh, right. The Lord said suddenly, don't be in a hurry to kill him. Force him to pass through Zhao Xingwu's mansion. I still want to test Zhao Xingwu. Hua Qidao took a deep breath. After a long time, he said, Lord, if he escapes, then he escapes. The Lord said lightly, if he really escapes, that's fine too. But if we can kill him, then kill him. If he really escapes from the imperial city, it will show that I'm useless. It will show that the Sky Plant's military is useless. He can change his appearance and restrain his aura. Even so, as long as we keep an eye on him, a venerable martial artist like him won't be able to escape. The Lord spoke for a while, then suddenly said, don't summon Eir. Let him continue to stay in the mansion. Lord, don't be too special. Just summon Ji Yao will do. Lord, Hua Qidao's expression changed. Then he said hurriedly, then I'll go and protect Her Highness Li Yi. No. The Lord continued pacing. After a long time, he said, if he really dies, then that's Eir's fate. However, I can let a Sky Plant's military commander patrol the vicinity of Eir's mansion. This is the only thing I can do. Hua Qidao took a deep breath and said seriously, then if Fang Ping doesn't do anything, or our guesses are all wrong, it's fine. The Lord laughed. It's fine even if we're wrong. We'll just try. If he doesn't do anything, let the Sky Plant's military search the entire city for the thief. Create a sense of oppression and make him feel like he'll be exposed at any time. If that's the case, he can only leave Sky Plant City as soon as possible. Since he's here and has a chance to kill some important people, can he hold back? The opportunity is fleeting. If he misses this chance, he won't have another chance. I understand. Hua Qidao responded hurriedly, his tone slightly anxious. Kill those highnesses. This was not a small matter. It might incur the wrath of the true kings. The Lord was taking a risk. But now, these true kings were also forcing King Lord to abdicate on his own accord. In the true king hall, there were still some who supported the Lord. They were searching for treasures to help the Lord recover. Maple Duke and the others could not force the Lord to abdicate. Grooming a new Lord was also a form of coercion. The situation was tense. A great war was about to break out. The Lord had not recovered from his injuries and could no longer lead the entire battle. They could only let the new Lord take over. Only by letting these fellows who were qualified to succeed the new Lord die could they buy time for the Lord. Fong Ping, Hua Qidao murmured in his heart. Was Fong Ping really here in the imperial city? How dare he? Hua Qidao thought for a while and said, even if the god general leaves, the Lord, there are still some venerables protecting them. They won't leave so easily. The Lord nodded slightly and smiled. That's a little troublesome. We can't be too obvious. How about this? Let the Sky Plant's military make a big move and see if we can attract some attention. As for the rest, we'll see if Fong Ping can seize the opportunity. If he can't, it's nothing. It's an accident anyway. If he really can't succeed, it's not a big deal. Hua Qidao said nothing more and left quickly. After he left, the Lord continued to stare at the map. He looked at the information of the martial artists from other regions and was silent for a long time. Residence of Prince Feng. Feng Hua entered Fong Ping's residence. He laughed as soon as he entered. The thieves are really bold. They actually robbed a bunch of shops. Now the Sky Plant's military is searching the city. As Feng Hua spoke, outside the door, a commander-level powerhouse said loudly, Sirs, the Sky Plant's military has ordered that they hope to investigate the manors. The thieves might be hiding in the manors. Nonsense. Feng Hua was furious. He scolded, no. How can the Sky Plant's military run wild in the true king's manors? Outside the door, the commander-level said hurriedly, the Sky Plant's military said it's for the safety of Sirs. The thieves might be divine path powerhouses. Some true king's manors don't have Lord God generals keeping watch, so it's hard to find traces of the thieves. Now that the thieves are becoming more and more unscrupulous, the Sky Plant's military has already sent someone to report to the True King's Hall. Very soon, the Lord True King will return to the city to investigate. To prevent the thieves from escaping, we need the cooperation of the manors. If the manors are unwilling to let the Sky Plant's military enter the manors, the Sky Plant's military also hopes that the manors can let the divine generals on good terms enter the manors to investigate. As soon as he said this, Feng Hua frowned slightly. He thought for a moment and said, Go and report to His Highness. See if Hall Lord Lu is free. The Sky Plant's military is not allowed to enter the manors. If Hall Lord Lu is free, he can come to the manors to investigate. Yes, sir. The other responded and left quickly. In the main hall, Fong Ping laughed. The Sky Plant's military is really useless. Hundreds of thousands of Sky Plant's military, dozens of divine generals, and they found nothing. Now, they want to investigate the manors. Compared to back then, they're really getting worse. That's true. Feng Hua also laughed. They're indeed getting worse. However, the thieves are unscrupulous, arrogant, and despotic. It's possible that they're hiding in some manors. The 49 True King's manors are the Sky Plant's military's forbidden land. And there are less than 10 manors with divine generals guarding them. If the thieves are really hiding in manors without divine generals guarding them, it's really hard to investigate. As Feng Hua said this, he laughed. But the possibility of the thieves hiding in King Feng's mansion is not high. Divine generals often come to King Feng's mansion. Fong Ping nodded and laughed. That's true. Lord King Feng is famous. How would the thieves dare to come to the manors and behave atrociously? Although he said this, Fong Ping was cursing in his heart. Why the rush? If they really wanted to investigate, he had to be careful. If he had known this would happen, he would not have dug the underground passage. He would have to fill it up later to prevent people from noticing. The two of them chatted for a while. Not long after, the commander who had just gone out returned. He said hurriedly, Sirs, His Highness said that the Sky Plant's military is not allowed to enter the manors. Also, Hall Lord Lu and the others have been summoned to the imperial court to discuss matters. Most of the divine generals in the city have gone to the imperial court. His Highness ordered us to be careful. Hall Lord Lu went to the imperial court. Feng Hua sneered. The Sky Plant's military is powerless, a mere thief, and now all the divine generals have to discuss it. Will His Highness be okay with divine General Lu leaving? No problem. On His Highness's side, Not only is Lord Fengzhi there, but there are also two venerables from Hall Lord Lu's mansion. That's good, Feng Hua responded. Fong Ping smiled. Is the Sky Plant's military still interrogating in the city? Yes. Are there any other imperial residences that allow the Sky Plant's military to enter? Or are they only targeting my mansion? All the imperial residences have been requested to assist in the investigation. The divine generals from the imperial residences have also been summoned to the imperial court to discuss matters? Yes. Fong Ping did not ask further. After the other party left, Feng Hua muttered, "It seems like the imperial court is indeed a little anxious. The Lord is no longer as brave as he was back then. If it were back then, with the left and right divine generals in charge and the Lord's great talent and strategy, such a small matter would not affect the Lord at all." Yes, they're anxious. Fong Ping nodded slightly, but he was calculating in his heart. Summoning the divine generals to discuss matters? So anxious? Also, asking the imperial residences to cooperate in the investigation. You've already installed surveillance cameras in people's houses. Do you still need the imperial residences to cooperate? I've just returned, and you've already sent the divine generals away? Fong Ping was deep in thought as he chatted with Feng Hua. Since the incident of the shop being robbed had been discovered, it meant that the news of the missing people and corpses had also entered the Lord's ears. His escape from Wanting Tower and disappearance would probably arouse some suspicions, right? Would the Lord be able to guess that it was him? If he could guess it, then what kind of situation would be the most advantageous for the Lord? Would he send someone to kill him directly? Old Zhang said that that fellow is an old fox. If someone is insidious as Old Zhang says that he's an old fox, then he's definitely not a good person. Maybe I've really been exposed. Although he might not know who I am, he might have guessed that I'm in the imperial residence. In the Lord's eyes, who can die and who can't? Sending the divine generals away to give me a chance? Or is it really too urgent and needs the divine generals' cooperation? Fong Ping's gaze flickered, and he suddenly laughed in his heart. No matter what, he would not take the risk. His life was his own. He was not a professional spy. Why should he guess what the Lord was thinking? He was preparing to leave. Before he left, he would do something big. I'm not killing anymore. I'm going to the imperial residence to mine. I don't care what you think. You probably didn't think that I would go mine instead of killing, right? 49 imperial residences, and you sent the divine generals away. Great, here's my chance. Fong Ping snorted in his heart. I don't care what you think. I'm not staying in the imperial residence anymore, and I don't want Feng Yu's identity anymore. I'll continue changing identities. However, even if I'm not staying in the imperial residence anymore, I still have to do something big. At the thought of this, Fong Ping looked at Feng Hua, a conflicted expression on his face. Feng Hua was slightly taken aback. What was wrong with Feng Yu? Sir, I have something to inform you. Feng Hua frowned and did not speak for a moment. Fong Ping, on the other hand, berated, "Those outside retreat." At the periphery, a commander-in-chief and a few generals left quickly. Fong Ping, on the other hand, set up layers of mentality barriers. Feng Hua's frown deepened, and he said mildly, "Feng Yu, what are you trying to say?" Fong Ping took a deep breath and set up the barriers. His expression was solemn as he said slowly, "I found out. Lord Maple is a son of AB***. Feng Hua's pupils contracted sharply. For a moment, he was shocked beyond belief. In God's land, in the imperial residence, he scolded a real king? In the next moment, Feng Hua's vision went black. Then, just as Feng Hua was about to resist, the space suddenly contracted violently. "Sir, did you have enough fun scolding AB***? A laugh sounded beside his ear. The golden glow on Feng Hua's body instantly exploded to the extreme. However, at this moment, he and Fong Ping were pressed together in the narrow space. No matter how much he struggled, he could not move an inch. Feng Hua's eyes revealed a trace of despair. He was imprisoned. In the next moment, Feng Hua's aura changed drastically. Even if he died, he would not let the other party off easily. As for the current Fong Ping, while he was speaking, he did not do anything but crazily hit the other's head with his head. Rumble! A series of rumbling sounds rang out in the narrow house. Fong Ping and Feng Hua were pressed together tightly. Relying on the fact that his golden body was stronger than the other parties, Fong Ping was straightforward and direct. Want to self-destruct? No way. I'll kill you. Rumble. A series of explosions resounded throughout the small house, but the sound was muffled by the house. None of the Imperial residence commander-in-chiefs outside could sense it. Kacha. The sound of golden bones cracking rang out. Endless destructive force erupted from Fong Ping's head, crashing madly, again and again and again. Feng Hua gathered his strength a few times, but it was scattered a few times. In the end, Feng Hua seemed to have no strength to struggle anymore. However, Fong Ping did not care. Even if his golden flesh cracked from crashing, he did not care and continued to hit. Fong Ping. Feng Hua, who seemed to have been hit to death just now, said through gritted teeth. He recognized the other party. No, I'm Feng Yu. Venerable Feng Hua, rest in peace. Fong Ping bared his teeth and hit hard again. There was a rumble. The sound of the explosion exploded. More than half of Fong Ping's flesh cracked. Fong Ping shook his head and cursed in a low voice. I can still explode when I'm about to die. What a waste of my millions of wealth points. Why bother? After cursing, Fong Ping's body flickered with golden light, and he returned to his original appearance in an instant. Then, Fong Ping's face changed, turning into Feng Hua's. I have thousands and thousands of aliases. Let's see how many you can find. I'm off to mine. Fong Ping grinned. Very quickly, he appeared outside the House of Gold. The House of Gold, which was wrapped in mentality, disappeared in an instant, along with Feng Yu. Please remember this book's domain name. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.